Fine, you. Good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Yes, I
Same.
can, loud and clear. How are you doing?
Same. I'm fine. I'm fine. How about you?
Very well. I feel quite kind of stressed. I don't know. But
Oh,
yes,
sorry
I feel
about that.
stressed. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Okay. So, hello, okay.
Hi. Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
See the way you're blowing. I can see the glow. You know what I'm talking about. Uh, how you
Good to see
doing?
everyone. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
How's it?
Doing very well myself. I'm doing very well. And I hope you've been resting. Hope you've
Uh,
have you been resting?
I've been trying. I've been trying. I did a little bit, at least.
Hey!
A little bit, at least, before I resumed.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Nice. Amazing.
Hello,
Amazing.
Melody, Chimebuka, Augustine, Ibukun. Hi.
Yes, hi, good evening, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Hope you're all doing well.
Yes,
Fine, good evening. Happy Sunday. Is she saying?
Hi, Dr.
Amazing.
K. Good
Hi,
evening.
hi. Good evening.
Good evening, Oyi.
Good evening, Melody.
Good evening. How was your day?
It was all right. All right, all
That's
right.
great. That's great.
Amazing. So if you are in the platform, go tag those who are not here. Yes, so Melody, Augustine, Samson, go tag them. So before the session actually begins, everybody should be in this session. Okay, so yes. So let me do another introduction again. I mean today. Yes.
Wait.
So before we bring yeah. So before we bring Dr. K up. Yes. So I'm actually forced to yes, I'm just going to so Dr. Mrs.
Oh, Jesus. Peter Abdul, it's okay.
Oh my God. So yes,
Ah,
guys, Dr. Mrs. Kedei Ibiang is a Nigerian medical doctor and public health professional known for her innovative contributions to health systems and her entrepreneurial spirit. She brings almost a decade of experience in public health and holds a bachelor's degree in medicine and surgery from the University of Calabar and has earned various public health certifications. Kedei is also a 2022 alumni of the Mandela Washington Fellowship, funded by the U.S. Department of State. In her role as leading the AL for health sector at the African Leadership Academy, she combines her clinical and project management skills to design and implement strategic solutions for strengthening health systems across Africa and beyond. Outside of public health, Kede founded and runs Case Perfumery Group. Yes, group. So yes, a Nigerian luxury fragrance and beauty brand of 7+ years, redefining wellness and lifestyle with safe, hypoallergenic perfumes, diffusers, scented candles, and skincare tailored for African and global audiences. So if your emojis are not for just design sake, please join me in making welcome Dr. Mrs. Kedei. Yes, thank you very much, guys. But yeah, it's really so great having you, Kedei. Like, I mean, yes, it's really great having you here once again. The last
thank
session was just oh my. I need to share some of the testimonies because I mean I don't know
you.
if it's the outside here. Yeah, actually, like so he went on. I think he was trying to. He has been looking forward to working in an organization, and he didn't know how to go about it. So he
Yeah.
said, from what you thought the last session, he went on to start engaging in the
Mm-hmm.
founders post on LinkedIn,
Oh,
and then he
nice.
went on to do that, and then he now sent, I think, connected with him, sent him a message, and it was so chill. And then he now went on to so I think from his interaction with the founders post, he was able to get the operations lead, the operations director of the organization, and then was able to connect with that person, was also engaging in the comments. Now this took about a week, I mean, like a week or two, I mean, and then it went on to reaching out to the operations person and saying, "Oh, I'm very interested in working with your organization, this and that." And before you knew it, they already set up a virtual interview. And from what he says, like, it's very, very promising. Like, just
Wow.
voila, just like that. Yes,
I mean,
just like that. That's one. Another one, and then that's Daniel. He was able to land a client too. I've just been amazed, like, from the results. So yes, I just thought to share. And that's even a few. I know a couple of persons actually do have like amazing testimonies. So
oh, I'm
yes,
so glad
yes,
to
thank
hear
you
that.
very much. Thank you so much.
I'm so, so glad to
Yeah.
hear that. That's really lovely to hear. And I think I love the speed of execution. That speed of I'm immediately going to implement this right away here and now. I love it. I love it so much. I
Yeah.
think Melody has her hands raised.
Yes, so I
Yes, I think she has a
do.
testimony.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
let's hear it.
So, so in the during the last session,
Mm-hmm.
I told you that I got an offer, but like very, it's not similar. It's similar to what I do, but not exactly my lane. And I was like skeptical because also the price she was offering was about
Mm,
450 per month, though
yeah.
it only requires like 2 hours of my time
Mm-hmm.
from Monday through Friday. But
Mm-hmm.
because of what you said, I accepted the offer because of the experience. And the experience has been mind blowing because
Wow.
it helped me to see my business also from another aspect. And it taught me like things I could do to help my clients that I already work with
Mm-hmm.
scale their
Mm-hmm.
own business in
Mm-hmm.
other ways. And also, this last week too, I sent another client from Amsterdam in my
Oh,
field, like
um,
directly requesting for myself. It's like, and she also came from the comments again, from the comment section again.
nice. Nice. That's
Like
so
I
lovely.
dropped a comment under a post and she was like, "Oh Melody, I saw your comment and I love your name and I went to check your portfolio and I think I need your services." And we clicked it.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm so glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Well done, everyone. This is really lovely to hear. Again, I love the speed of implementation because execution is what will take you from just head knowledge to actually getting the results that you want. So I'm really, really glad that you went ahead to implement and you're already getting these success stories. I love it. I really love it. And thank you so much for sharing it with me. These are the things that gladden my heart about sharing these kinds of stories and sharing some bits of my experience and from my own knowledge. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so we'll go straight into, I was trying to see whether I could join from two devices. So I can share screen on one and
So my EA can help with that. Your
okay,
presentation, it can
yes,
help with it, yes. So Collins, please. Yeah.
lovely, 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 lovely. So we can go. All right. So today we're just going to be building on some bits of the things that we discussed from last time. Um, Building on some of the things we spoke about with visibility, but then now we are translating that. Some of you have already even begun the translation, so I love it. It's less work to do today, a lot of discussion, especially from those of you who have started implementing, so that'll be helpful for us. So we're going to just translate that from just the discussion around visibility and then how you are translating that into attracting and accessing and maximizing the opportunities that come your way from that visibility. I think Melody has already started doing that because, from the commenting and who was the other person? This person on the call.
Elsa.
Anita Hosa, yes. Um, just you can already see how positioning yourself helps you to grab, some of those opportunities. So today we're just going to be doubling down on, accessing them. And when the opportunities present themselves, how do you maximize it? How do you get the best out of it? So that's what we're going to do. And I just said today, like before I started, that it's a good thing to have the head knowledge, to hear about the experience, to get the skills. But the best part of it is actually putting those into action so that you can get the results that you're looking for. So visibility will create the awareness, will put you out there so people can see you, know you, what you do. It creates the awareness. But then it is the action that now brings results and outcomes. So from what you have done now with this visibility and how to create visibility, whether on LinkedIn, on other bits of social media like Instagram and Twitter and the rest, what you do with that visibility is what then creates the outcomes and the results that you want. Actually, let me see. Can I request control of the screen? There used to be a feature for that on Zoom. I don't know if there still is.
Hey, Collins, can you confirm that, Collins?
Let me see.
That's what I'm actually trying. I'm trying to make her. Okay, I think she's a coach. Can try.
Okay.
Let me see. And first off, let me even see whether it's still an option here. Captions, transcript, breakouts. Not really. I doubt it. It seems they may have taken it out. I'm checking to see whether it will be in the share settings. Okay, we'll just go ahead and I'll just be letting you know when to move screen. Yeah. All right, let's go. We can move to the next slide. So this session, the only goal that we have is to move you from visibility to action, like I mentioned. Next slide, please. With the visibility, we've considered how to create the awareness, put yourself out there, maximize your social media platforms, LinkedIn, and all of those other types. And the action that you now take from creating that visibility that brings you the results and the outcomes that you're looking for. That's what we're going to focus on today. Next slide, please. All right. So a little bit around why some people, visible people, still miss opportunities. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Yes, thanks. Why some people still miss opportunities even after they have become visible. So I think a few of us know some people who are very visible, very known on social media, right? But are not even taking advantage of the credibility and the visibility that they have on social media to then maximize their growth, whether it is career-wise, business-wise, opportunities, whatever. And it's because of a few different issues. Some people just never put themselves out there as per they never apply for opportunities when they come out. Some of them just keep waiting for forever. You keep waiting until you are ready. And I'll speak a little about this when I get to the end of this particular slide, especially because if you are someone who likes to think from the lens of everything must be perfectly aligned before I can put myself out for opportunities, you will miss some of the best opportunities of your life, especially if you either have like a perfectionist mindset, like some of us, or imposter syndrome sometimes is to creep into your mind. And you tell yourself that, no, this one is too big for me. I can't shoot my shot. I'll wait until 2 years later. When in that 2 years later, the opportunity might not be there anymore. So some people keep waiting until they feel ready. When will you feel ready? You will never feel 100% ready for an opportunity. It probably will never happen, right? Some people just are not networking. So they have the visibility, but are you networking and creating a community out of the visibility that you have already, the visibility that you've already built? Some people just don't follow up. So somebody, for example, Melody, with the scenario that you mentioned, someone you had interacted in the comment section with this person had already said, oh, okay, I like your name. I went to look at your profile. I like what you do. I need your services. Imagine that you just do not follow up. You finish saying all those nice, sweet things in the comment section or in the DM, and the person says that and they go away, and you don't come back 48 hours later to say, oh, hi, following up on this is this. Because sometimes people genuinely forget. It's not like they are airing you or they are ghosting you. People have just gone ahead with their lives. It's you who's looking for the opportunity that will go back and say, oh, just dropping a gentle reminder that blah, blah, blah. I'm still like, oh, I'm so sorry. I got really busy. Some people just don't follow up, and you will lose a lot of opportunities if you stick to that kind of mindset. And that's something that I had to learn from business, not even from the career part, because I used to be so, and it's so funny, the human brain and what it does to you. I used to be so ashamed of following up because in my mind, well, if the person really wanted the thing, they should have followed up. That is it's a big lie. There are some of the biggest, even like private labor contracts that we've got to have come from following up. Someone sent a DM saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I'm not ready now. I'll come back to you in a month or two when I have the bulk money to produce everything. And you're just like, okay, the person will come back when they're ready. Set that reminder and follow up with that person. A huge chunk of those kind of contracts and deals and private label clients have come from follow up, because I promise you, they might forget. So following up, I'm buttressing on this very much because your mind will be telling you, hey, this person really wanted to give you that role, that opportunity, that contract, whatever it is, they should have come back. Follow up until the point where the person then says, okay, I do not want to. Then you can chill so that it doesn't become as though you are now a pest, right? And then the last bit, some people don't pitch themselves. Some don't just pitch themselves at all. You see something that you know that you are a good fit for. And this is even for people who, speaking a lot for people whose work like depends on some kinds of the content that they put out on social media, right? And you know that your work and your type of clients are out there, but you're not pitching yourself. You are not speaking confidently about the skills that you have. Nobody can, no, when someone falls on your page, they don't have a sense of what it is that you have an expertise in. So you're not pitching yourself, but beyond pitching yourself in the general sense on your LinkedIn or your social media, you're also not pitching yourself to the person who has indicated interest in contracting you for your services. So if, for example, that kind of person had reached out on your comment section or anywhere else, and you don't even, after the whole nice talk, introductions, everything, you can't even share about who you are and what you do and what you can actually bring to the table for them, the person does not necessarily now live with a clear idea of what you can do for them or their business. So pitching yourself as a person, but also like your skills and your services is very important. So visibility alone is not enough. I said I was going to come back to this wait until you feel ready point, because this kind of ish happened to someone I know. The Mandela Washington Fellowship had been running since about 2014 or 2016. It was about, no, 2014, because 10 years in 2024. And for a lot of people, they're like, okay, I'm not ready this year. Well, I still have time, because they say from 18 or 21 to 35. And I still have some time because maybe I'm just in my mid-20s or whatever. And you tell yourself, I will apply next year. Why don't you apply now? And even if you don't get in, you'd have gotten some experience of how to tailor your essay. You probably get to the interview stage and you figure out, because they'll give you feedback, you figure out the things that you can do better in your next application and all that. There were some people who were waiting to say, okay, I will apply the next year. And as of 2025, the program was done. They had ended it. So you already know Trump is moving crazy. So 2024 applications who went to the US in 2025 were the last batch of people to be a part of that. So imagine the people who were telling themselves in 2024, when those applications were ongoing, that, no, I'm not ready yet, I will apply in 2025. In 2025, the applications never opened. In fact, as of August, typically when the applications open, people went on the website and they just saw the Mandela Washington Fellowship has been discontinued. So that waiting until you feel ready, for people who, how do I phrase this? It's a lie from the devil. It's a big lie, right? And because you will tell yourself that there's somebody else who has more experience, somebody who has more expertise, there's somebody who's more qualified, it's a lie. That person that you think is more qualified than you is thinking the same thing about you, but they will not tell you now because, duh. So waiting until you feel ready is something that your mind tells you to avoid. Sometimes avoid the work, sometimes in a bid to dodge or avoid rejection. But you must throw yourself at opportunities that seem like, what am I even shooting for? Am I okay? Those are the things that also expand the perspective in your mind. Because once you've been able to throw yourself at one such crazy, like ridiculous opportunity, and then you see how far you go, everything else now begins to look like child's play. But if every time you see something, you say, well, I'm not ready, I don't think I have the expertise or whatever that they're looking for, and you just don't, you will keep underselling yourself, under positioning yourself, and you won't be able to move yourself from the level where you are now to the level where you are looking to go. Little case in point, apart from the Mandela Washington Fellowship, I don't know if I ever told that story, but I started the application in August August? Yeah, I think August or July when it came out. And I abandoned it. I completely forgot about it. And at some point, I'm like, I just have this number of experience post-work as of 2021 when I was applying. And I just had 4, 5 years post-experience. And I was seeing the kind of people that had been in the fellowship before. I'm like, hey, don't bother yourself. Just leave this thing alone. But then the day the application was ending, I now got their reminder email, oh, the application ends today, 4 p.m. And I was working from home that day. I'm just like, what's there? I'll apply. If I don't get in, I know that this is giving my best shot. And I sat down and I used the remaining, I think I got that email maybe like 3:15, and that application was meant to be, the deadline was 4 p.m. that day. And I sat and finished it in about 30 something minutes. I submitted probably like 3:56 or 3:57. And that is the one that now pulled through. The same one I thought, oh no, there's no way I'm going to get in because, well, I'm not that qualified. Maybe I can shoot for it in 2024 or something. But yes, nice experience for me. And I did. And I went from this to this to the interview stage and I got into the fellowship. Now, imagine I did not shoot for that at all because I told myself that there are people with 7, 10 years of experience as of that time. They're the ones who should get in. So you need to learn to take a bet on yourself because nobody else will do it if you are not doing it for yourself. And it's the same thing with business. If you are not pitching yourself as that, I know what I'm doing and I'm able to deliver on this. If you can't bet on yourself, nobody else is going to bet on you. All right. So I went back to that point because there will always be a time, like there will always be opportunities that you will tell yourself that I'm not ready for, I'm not qualified for, I don't have the number of years of experience or expertise that's required for this. But you must always sometimes shoot for things that are out of your range because it does something to that impossibility mindset in your head. And also, again, you just never know which one will pull through. You will never know if you don't try. So the one thing that you will learn from this and why some people still miss opportunities is that they just don't shoot for these things and they keep waiting until they are ready, but you will never be 100% ready. So all the shots that you don't shoot for, you miss them automatically because you didn't shoot at all. But better for you to have shot for it and missed it, or be somewhere close to it and then learn your lessons, than to not shoot for it at all and still be at the same point where you were before you shot for it. All right. Next slide. I forgot I wasn't the one projected. Okay, strategic positioning. We spoke about this a lot, but I want to add a little bit of another side of context to it. So we spoke about strategic positioning. I mentioned LinkedIn and how posting on LinkedIn, sharing about some bits of the work that you do, the projects that you have worked on, your experience, whatever. Little stories. It can be a little story of something that you did with a client that week, a skill, and then you can highlight a skill that you have. It can be a small story of a problem that you helped to solve at work or whatever, and then you highlight your skills and how you contributed to solving the problem and all that. So there's that part. But also positioning yourself in the circles where these opportunities exist. I mentioned jokingly the last time that a good chunk of the roles that I have had in my life, I never found them myself on social media or on job boards. The very first one, they found me on LinkedIn, headhunted me, and I got in the role. The next one was a referral from someone more senior than me in the industry who had built a rapport and networking relationship with. The next one was directly shared in a group of, past Mandela Washington Fellowship alumni, and I'm like, okay, I'm shooting for this, and I got a recommendation. So you have to position yourself in those circles where those opportunities will exist. So based on what it is that you do, you have to find the circles that work for you, right? If you're in international development, you will find those circles that are in the niche of international development that you work in. If you are providing services to businesses, is that place on social media, that Instagram handle where all the businesses are going to rant about their business issues, that's the comment section you should leave on, because that is your opportunity. Because as you see a problem, you can respond with just a line or two of, oh, I think you can And the person then looks at, oh, okay, this person is actually making sense. And that's how they open your profile and see that you can provide, some of the services that they may help, that they may need to help them with their business. So whether this is professional associations, fellowships, going for conferences and events, I spoke about this a little bit the last time. So Abuja, Lagos, wherever you are, a little conference in your industry, dress up nicely, carry your laptop bag or your handbag and go for this event and speak to people and put yourself out there. Industry communities, there are a few on LinkedIn, there are some on Instagram, here and there. And you'll find a lot of them on LinkedIn. And these are some of the places where you can have conversations. And for some of them, the more active you are, some of them even have WhatsApp groups. You get active, you are on the WhatsApp group. Opportunities will always fly through there. So I am in a WhatsApp group for businesses that manufacture their own skincare, hair care, beauty products in Nigeria. This WhatsApp group has maybe like the top 50 manufacturing companies in Nigeria. They're there. So imagine, first of all, the access. I'm building something. And while I probably have a little less experience than they have, some of them have been around for 10, 12, 15 years. I'm just 7+ years. It's the simplest and the easiest way for me to learn without paying any extra money. All I did was that I bought a course from one of those persons, and she had a full-on alumni group of manufacturers, and she just made a hub of alumni of manufacturers. And I'm talking top beauty brands in Nigeria, top skincare brands, top hair care brands. People just wake up sometimes and be like, I'm having this issue in my business. Guys, what do you think? Anybody here has gone through? And you'll see solid advice from like 5, 10 people. If you are not in that group, you probably pay like 2 million naira to get access to the kind of whether advice or solutions that you will find. But beyond that, people have gotten jobs from, you see, the sensible thing that some people did. On that same group, there are people who are not manufacturers, but they know that if you buy this course from this person, you will get added to this manufacturer's alumni WhatsApp group. So I'm telling you, there are content creators, there are ad managers, digital marketers, there are graphic designers. There will always be a business there that is looking for one of those services. Do you understand? So one of them is a digital marketer who once in a while will just come and share, oh, Meta now has these updates with your ads. You can do this. If you know the number of businesses that guy is currently managing ads for, it's astonishing. Simply because he just put himself inside that place where his opportunity is. That is it. So in a month, sometimes he might even decline something because it's like, okay, there's too many people I'm managing ads for. I do not have bandwidth to take beyond the number I have. But just inserting himself in there, he does not have any manufacturing business. His own is that he's just inserting himself where the businesses that require his services are. So you need to think through these things from that lens sometimes and be able to figure out where your opportunities are existing and put yourself in those communities, put yourself in those groups, put yourself in that association, so that when you're looking for advice, when you are looking to, sometimes it can just be you sharing something. I got private label deals from that place simply because someone was just looking for, someone who does private label in perfumes. I'm like, I'm right here. Let's go to the DM. And we're talking on WhatsApp, and that's it. I didn't have to run an ad to be able to gain that customer. It was free from WhatsApp. So I'm emphasizing on this very much again because the people that you want to learn from, or the people that you want to provide services to, where are they? Where do they spend their time? Find them and put yourself inside there so that you are able to not just learn from them and their experiences, but you are also able to provide your services to the people that require your services. All right, next slide. Opportunity ecosystem. I spoke about this again the last time. I'm just going to skim through it. A good chunk of them will come from relationships, some from visibility, some from capability, 10% ish from luck. The luck part, you cannot influence it because that one, maybe they just found you online, they liked you, they came to discuss with you. That's great. 20% from your capability and the people who can speak for this person knows what they are doing, they are able to deliver on what they say they will deliver, and those kind of things, yes. Visibility is a huge chunk. You can actually influence the first three. Capability you can build from your skills and education. Visibility you can build as well if you put your mind to it and work on it. Relationships you can always nurture and maintain. So your goal is to influence the first three that are within your hand. You leave the 10% for God because it's God that will now determine, some of the other things that affect these things. So you must build relationships. You must work on visibility and you must build your capability and maintain it so that people are able to vouch for you with their full chest and say, yes, this person can deliver on the work that you ask them to if you give them this thing to do. All right, next slide. Okay. Leveraging social media intentionally. We spoke a little about how your social media should be set up. So if someone falls on your LinkedIn, your Instagram, anywhere else, your bio should already tell them who you are, what you do, the kind of skills that you have. So don't use social media only for consumption. And I'm saying it to myself also because I think we have gotten to a point in our social media lives in Nigeria where we're in such a consumer mode. Like there's a lot of consumerism going on. You can doom scroll on Instagram for 5 hours without knowing, just consuming other people's content. But you're consuming their content and they're making money from you consuming their content. So you have to also create content and put content out there. So don't use social media only for consumption. Use it to create as well and share. So share insights, showcase your projects, build relationships, learn publicly. It's something that a lot of us need to do, and it's something that I had to start learning even with the business. Some of the times I'm like, okay, no, this is just me in my, just learning the things in the background. Sometimes share about what it is you're learning and how that has changed your perspective from the things you used to know and how you used to implement them to what you now know and how that now affects the services that you offer or the products that you create. And then from there, you can demonstrate your expertise. You can then, because people have seen that trajectory of you speaking about how your knowledge, like your knowledge level before, how you have grown, the things you have learned, some of the experiences, bad, good, that you've had, and then that can now move to you demonstrating expertise because they've seen that journey happen. All right, next slide. Okay, now to the proper applying for opportunities effectively. And I see this a lot, especially because my current role with the African Leadership Academy, I'm supporting young people. So a lot of the parts of the work that we do with like opportunities and placements is reviewing their profiles and CVs and then ensuring that they are getting opportunities like within top healthcare organizations in Africa who are making impact. And some of the most common mistakes, I see this literally every time we have a new opportunity from a top healthcare organization. You see a very generic CV. I tell people this for a fact. You will never find one version of my CV, ever. Like, maybe the year I graduated was the last time you would have found that. After 2017 or 2016, 2017, you will never find one version of my CV anywhere because I never use the same CV to apply for a different role. Like never, ever. Even if it is the same type of role, but in a different organization. Let's say, for example, my current role, I was applying for it within another organization and they were looking for almost the same. It is not the same CV. I will sit and I will tailor it again, not just to fit the role, but to fit what the organization is looking for. Because sometimes it's not necessarily because someone is not the right candidate or they don't have the right skills. It's how you communicate it based on how you've seen what they have also communicated in their job description. So it just might be a situation of you switching the terms that you are using in describing your skills, maybe in the ways that you've laid out what you've achieved in your past roles, in the way that you mentioned it, switching it, making it more numbers facing. If you see that they are very big on numbers, if they are telling you in your job description, oh, achieve this percentage of this, you will not go and be speaking English, I was able to support. No, you will also now come and start putting percentages in the things that you've achieved. I achieved 90% this rate of whatever, whatever, whatever. But generic CV, you must never use one generic CV to apply for everything. For people whose work mostly deals with like a portfolio, that can be slightly different because you understand that you are speaking about projects that you've worked on, you're speaking about skills that you have, or maybe any other thing that you want to highlight. But even with that, depending on which clients that you are speaking to, there's no harm with having a generic portfolio that that you can have maybe pinned somewhere in your social media. That one gives people an idea of what you can do. So you must put your best foot forward with it. Can give people an idea of what you do, who you are, the skills you have, and what you can deliver for their businesses. And that's great. You can have that generic portfolio. Maybe now that Instagram has pinned posts that can be pinned on your LinkedIn, that can be a featured post, whatever that is, that's good. But then for each client, you must tailor your communication to them. So if you were pitching to a client, please do not use the same pitch message that you used for 2, 3, 4, 5 different clients to send to one client. You must now tailor that to that client that you can see. You are looking at the client's profile, you're looking at the kind of business that they have, the potential issues that they will have, and the kind of skills they require for that. And you can tweak your pitch, your cover letter, whatever that is, but you must always tailor it. And for those who are actually applying for opportunities, you must always tailor your CVs to fit the role that you are applying for at that time. You cannot use the same cover letter as well. All those cover letters that just go straight to, okay, when I was in this role, I did this when I was in, you must always switch, like I will always tweak it to how it ties into what the organization is doing. So if in my previous role, I did this, I did that, I did that, when I am now sending that cover letter to another organization and I need to highlight that, okay, I have done this, and this kind of things before, I will tweak it to how those skills are now making me the best fit for this, their current role. I could have used it for a completely different role before, but it will always be tweaked and it must be tweaked. So you see this generic, there's no reason why you should use a generic cover letter, a generic CV to apply for any roles. Absolutely no reason. Please do not do it. It doesn't put you in the best light. That's one. And then the people who take their time to tailor their applications are the ones who always have, they will be at the top of the short list because those are the ones that the organization see that, okay, this person seems like they, only because they sat down and just did an extra 1 hour of tailoring their documents to fit. Please don't do last minute applications. Don't follow my Mandela Washington Fellowship example, please. Don't do last minute applications, except you just stumble on the opportunity and you see that there's no time, or I have to shoot for this opportunity now. Then in that case, you make do with what you have and the time that you have, and you shoot and put your best foot forward. But in every other scenario, please don't do last minute applications, especially if you saw it a long time ago. Take your time to build your cover letter and your CV or your portfolio and then shoot for that opportunity. It gives you time to be able to see potential mistakes that you might have made in your CV, in your cover letter. So you tweak them, you edit them, and um you have them saved somewhere. And then you can go over the job description again. You can research the organization a lot more. I always pity any organization that I just have an interest in. If for any reason I wanted to shoot for any role, I will find everything about you people that's available on the internet. So you cannot catch me on any side because I will find it up to the people who have worked with you in the past 4 or 5 years. I will find that information. So take your time to don't do that kind of research and get a sense of what the organization in full is about. That can now also help you to put in some little things that will make them say, okay, this person either really knows the organization or really knows my business, or the person really does have a lot of interest and is able to support us the way we want. So use that time to do that. Don't put it away until the last minute before you then start doing rush work. Let it not be as if I did not submit an application, you know. So please don't do last minute applications. The winning approach is research. I will keep saying this over and over again. You must get the full scope and the full idea of this organization, this client, this project, everything that's available about them on the internet, information-wise, you must find it. And I think that's why it's so difficult for me to hire for my business, because I think that's one of my worst pet peeves, hiring business. Person in business. do, you don't know whether the business has a website, you've never looked at our Instagram, you don't know whether we have a TikTok or anything else. You can't even as much as look through our Google business. I ask you a basic question about the products that we're offering, you know nothing. It's an automatic no for me because it's like, oh, if you really wanted to, if you really had an interest in, you would look at these things and they are very, very readily available on the internet. So it's the same thing with putting yourself out there for opportunities, whether it's business-wise or career-wise. So that's the winning approach. You must research about that role, the opportunity, and the organization first. And then you must tailor your application or your pitch to fit what they're looking for. Then after that, you can apply and then follow up. We spoke about follow up already, but follow up is very important. Even with applications sometimes, especially with sometimes with applications where maybe I've connected with someone on LinkedIn, applications where there's someone I know who's in the organization or anything. I apply and I have not heard back in a month from the time when the application closed or 6 weeks from the time. I will reach out and follow up. Can I have an update as to, what is the status for recruitment? Are you guys moving forward? And if you are not, you have to communicate it to, the candidates and all that. But you see that follow up is very important. It's very important. Sometimes that might even be the reason why they come to you later. Even if for any reason they moved ahead with someone else and somehow that didn't turn out well, the first people that they will come back to will be the people who are somewhere at the top of their mind because maybe you had reached out to someone on LinkedIn. The person now says, oh, okay, there was one of these people who actually pitched for this opportunity or applied for this role who reached out on LinkedIn. Let me go get the person's name. That is how they come back to you and say, okay, this is still open. Are you still interested? So just making sure that you are putting yourself top of their minds as well is very important. So research, tailor your documents, apply, and then always follow up. It's very important. Next slide, please. Okay, strategic partnerships. Very important as well because this is what will accelerate your growth, especially with when you're shooting for opportunities. Partnerships will always accelerate growth. Career-wise, business-wise, you cannot do any of these things alone. You must have people who are able to speak for you in places where you don't have access to. So potential partners, this can be mentors, peers, organizations, employers, collaborators, is very important. So some of the things that you'll be asking yourself, who can open the doors that I cannot open alone? There are so many doors that you possibly may not be able to open because you just do not have access to them. You don't have the relationships to open those doors. But you might have somebody or you might know somebody who has those relationships to open those kind of doors. So maintaining that partnership or relationship with that person is one of the things that will be able to move you forward, accelerate you with some of these opportunities. So you need to always think through that. And even if these are peers, somebody who you think might know this person and this person might be able to speak to someone else about an opportunity that you want to shoot for, do it. So who can open these doors that I cannot open alone? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself when you are building strategic partnerships. And then with organizations, maintaining a good relationship with colleagues, with supervisors and managers, sometimes there have been times when they are the ones who will even show you an opportunity and say, I think this is a really great opportunity for you. If you are someone who does maybe freelance jobs or some things on the side, or they just think that, this opportunity is really great for you. And personally, they have worked, like they've overcome that bias of, we must keep you in this organization, and they see that this opportunity is good for you. The very open-minded ones will be able to recommend you for those, probably ask you if you're willing to explore these opportunities. So these are some of the things that you need to think about as you build strategic opportunities for strategic partnerships for opportunities that you shoot for. Next slide, please. Okay, creating your opportunity pipeline. Never depend on one opportunity. Never depend on one opportunity. And this is both business-wise and career-wise. With jobs, if you are actively looking for a job, you must be doing a couple of applications per day, a couple of applications per day. And this is particularly because it increases your probability of landing one. Because first of all, yes, sometimes, and it's weird that I'm the one saying this because I have never been the one to do a lot of applications when looking for new opportunities or new roles. but your probability of landing a role increases with the number of opportunities that you shoot for that are fit for you, though. Does not mean you just go start applying randomly to every opportunity that you find on the internet. That's how a tech bro was applying for a sales rep role. And I was now wondering, how does it correlate? So you don't just now go throw your net wide and start applying for any opportunity that you see online. You're now applying. No, you must categorize these things. This opportunity, is it a good fit for you? We spoke about this in the last class, how to determine whether an opportunity is the right fit, whether it moves your career forward, whether it helps you to achieve some of your short-term goals. Financially, how does it move you from this current level to the next? Does it give you access to a network that you might not have had ordinarily, and things like that? Does it help you to gain new knowledge, new skills, and all that? So making sure that this opportunity is a good fit, that's very important. But pipeline categories for opportunities: jobs, fellowships, scholarships, grants, speaking engagements, consulting projects. You must be tracking all of these. And clearly, not everything here applies to everybody, right? Not everything here applies to everybody. So sometimes you might have opportunities that are not, at the time, it's just not for you. And that's fine. But make sure that this is not a situation of you either telling yourself that you are not ready when you are, or imposter syndrome getting the best or the better of you. Ensure that you are actually, this is actually not the right fit for me. And you are sure that it is not the right fit. But across industries and across niches, some of these will apply for you, apply to you. So if, for example, you support businesses, you might be able to land, speaking engagements about the work that you do. You might be able to land consulting projects if people just need to consult for a short time for their business, and then jobs as well, and some of the businesses that you can support. Some of these other ones may not be able to apply to you at the time, but at least 2 out of 3 for these will apply to you per time. So never depend on just one opportunity, especially if you are looking to grow your career as a person, both whether business-wise or career-wise. You can't just depend on one. So you have to cast your net a little bit wider and put yourself out there. Just shoot for opportunities beyond the usuals. So the fact that, let me use Melody for example. So Melody is providing services to businesses. She's providing services to business owners and all those kind of different types of those kind of people who need to be able to manage, whether it's manage communities or do some bits of that kind of community engagement. And she can look for jobs because she can have companies, whether in Nigeria, outside of Nigeria, who are looking to have, virtual support, online support. So yes, she can look for jobs. But she can also look for fellowships. So if she has fellowships where there's a tech fellowship that is helping to build community managers, social media managers, virtual assistants, all those kind of things, she can shoot for those. She can shoot for speaking engagements because she can speak to the work that she does with supporting businesses. She can also take on consulting projects because, especially if she's working virtually, which I think she does most of remote and virtual work. Exactly. So she can also take on consulting projects where this person needs you to do like a 2 or 3 month support of their business for like maybe a particular thing, a campaign they're working on, whatever it is. So you need to look through your own personal, what can you do? Who are you? What do you offer? Look through that and see which of these apply to you, and make sure that you are grabbing those from different places, right? You're not just focused on, okay, because I have this client who's giving me jobs, that's all. You can also make extra income, not just income, but you can also build a wider network if you are keeping yourself out there for speaking engagements, for consulting projects, and other types of opportunities like that. So track them and ensure that you are shooting for a couple of those at least per month. All right, next slide. Let me see where we are. Okay, pitching yourself with confidence. And this is something that a lot of times you have to do it over and over again for you to be able to do it off the top of your head subsequently. So you will go through quite a few variations of pitches of yourself. Also because that pitch might slightly change from time to time over the years, and it depends on what you are focusing on at the time. So, but you need to be able to have a simple pitch formula that you can pitch to people. It's called an elevator pitch. So a pitch that you can do in 2 minutes. If, for example, somehow you stumbled on Dangote or Tedola in an elevator, can you pitch what you do to them in 2 minutes and actually cover the kind of info they need to have about you to say, okay, this might be a young person that is worth investing in or worth supporting or worth giving a longer hearing period. Like, okay, come on, let's have a proper meeting where you're telling me about what you do. But you need to be able to grab their attention in the first place from the pitch. So your simple pitch formula: who am I? What do I do? Who do I help? What impact do I create? So it can be as simple as my name is this. I help businesses this for the kind of this. So you've already covered what I do and who I help with that statement. And then what impact do you create from that? What impact do you create from that? So for me, I can say, okay, my name is Kedei. I'm a medical doctor, and I also this. I support young persons and build a bridge between healthcare opportunities in organizations and young persons in healthcare in Africa. I've already covered what I do and who I help with that. I've spoken about my work and I've spoken about the young people that I'm supporting. What impact do I create and nurturing the next generation of young African leaders? I can also switch that to the business side. Who am I? Beauty entrepreneur, blah, blah, blah. What do? I create hypoallergenic Africa-focused products across, beauty and luxury fragrances. I help corporate young people looking to smell amazing, have their home smell good. What impact am I creating? Giving you lovely smelling scents for yourself, helping to, improve your confidence when you go out or helping you create a more comfortable, more relaxing home. So simple pitches, this just 2 sentences for each of this is something that you can do in 1 minute. And I love this era that we're in with ChatGPT and other types of AI support because this is something that if ChatGPT has some history of who you are, some of the things that you've done, you've told it about your skills, your education, your experience, and everything like that, it can build a simple pitch formula for you. And you don't need to take what it builds for you, hook, line, and sinker. You can tweak it and give yourself some extras. So I wanted to pause here for a bit. If anyone wanted to take a stab at pitching themselves in the chat or preferably speaking it out, if anyone wanted to do that. So you can unmute yourself and go ahead if you want to. Otherwise, you can do it in the chat as well. So let's see if anyone wants to. Anyone? Any takers? I'm trying to go through the comments. My CV is now 12. Okay, I see there's 2 new comments. All right. Let's see what we have. Oh, what was the question? Okay. Sample pitch with this formula. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you help? What impact do you create? So I wanted people to either take a stab at it on the chat or you can unmute yourself and do it live. So it depends on what you're able to. If you have stable network, you can go ahead to unmute yourself and do that. If not, you can just put it in the chat. Anyone? Okay, I guess you can go ahead to put it in the chat, just in case you're typing, so that we don't worry. But you need to remember this is an elevator pitch, so it doesn't have to be long. It's like 2 sentences for each one. You shouldn't have more than 8 statements in that because you should be able to say that ideally in 60 to 120 seconds. So we'll just go on to next slide while we wait for a few of the pitches that we'll see. Okay, I shared a little about this, or maybe quite a lot about some of them for myself as an example last time. And I just wanted to speak about some of the visibility actions that led to each opportunity. actions today, because last week we we're talking about what you need to do to make yourself visible and everything. But when you've made yourself visible, what actions do you now take and all that? So with the Mandela Washington Fellowship, I mentioned that for a lot of people, they were trying to verify your track records. So people who said they were running businesses, they showed up to their places of business to check, does this business exist? Is this person the owner of this business? Are they actually here? Do they operate? What do they do? For people who put in the roles that they were working in, they probably might have reached out to your employer to ask, is this person actually employed here? Is this their role? Is this what they do? So that's track record. But then beyond that, they also went on social media. They searched my Facebook at the time. I was still quite quite active on Facebook at the time, Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. So they are looking to see how the things that you've been doing and saying there corroborate with the story that you are telling them in these your statements that you wrote in your application, right? So some of the visibility actions there are what's already positioned me for that, but also speaking about the work that I do. With my current role, it was a matter of being in the right rooms, which was what I spoke about. It was a matter of being in the right rooms. But beyond that, my LinkedIn also is something I do. So probably every month, something changes in my LinkedIn. I've added something, I've tweaked something, because it always needs to reflect some of the things I'm doing currently or some of the new skills or new achievements I've made with my role at work or whatever. But with this one, because I was constantly updating with the role I was in at the time, some of the things that I had done, it was easy for them to go there and see, and then also say that, oh, this person's a Mandela Washington Fellow, and we're looking for somebody who can build young leaders. This person has already gone through a leadership fellowship program, so should have the expertise and experience to do this. The action of me putting this information out there that I did the Mandela Washington Fellowship and this is what I learned, this is how I'm going to apply it to my next roles and blah, 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 is what pushed me to like their short list of beyond tailoring my CV to literally match the opportunity with the skills that I had and the experience I had. These were some of the things that pushed me all the way up there. I mean, this is something I heard after I started the role that made them put me in their top whatever of people that they actually wanted to interview. And then beyond that, for public health consulting, funny enough, I've stepped back a little with this because I just got a little too swamped. But my LinkedIn had a services page where I spoke about some of the services that I offer for public health organizations and how I can help organizations and all that. So again, that visibility action, I've gotten a couple of those kind of short-term consulting projects where they need to support to do something for a public health organization. Speaking engagements, same thing. They need to see that you can actually speak. So if your social media, you do not have a video or anything of you speaking about any of the things that you say you are an authority in, you say you have expertise in this, but you don't have any video of you speaking about it, no one is going to trust your eloquence or think about how articulate you are if you have not actually put out videos of you speaking. So you need to be speaking or writing for them to know that this person can handle a speaking engagement. Business partnerships, you must highlight the ones that have come already. So if some business partnerships had come from referrals or whatever, you need to speak about them for people to see that this person can handle this and then be able to give you that. Funding opportunities, this one, you need track record, you need pipelines. The very first funding opportunity I got for my business had to come from them seeing that this is what you've done with this business from the time when you started until now and all that. And then with the funding applications, you're now speaking about how that is going to support you to scale the business, grow the business, whatever. But there were visibility actions that needed to happen to lead to these opportunities, and not just leading to them. When I then got access to the opportunities, did I maximize that opportunity based on the actions that I took? So these were just some of the examples I wanted to highlight. I keep forgetting I'm not the one sharing. Next slide, please. Okay. Personal visibility strategy exercise. We built this last time. Was anybody here who was not here last time? I think Laura is looking like a new name. Was she with us last week? Anyways, anyone here who has not created this exercise yet? Because if you've not created this, you cannot do the accessing and maximizing opportunities that we're talking about. So anyone here who hasn't created this, so that we can just get on to the visibility plan? Anybody? All right, I know anyone who has created this. Any hands? Any hands? Melody, I see your. Is Melody still on the call? I see your network is really bad. Okay. I see your chat. I see your pitch. We'll come back to this towards the end of the slides, and then we can tweak it a little bit more. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so if you've built, I'm guessing that some people have, some people haven't, and that's all right. If you've built your personal visibility, because we spoke about this last time, and okay, we spoke about this last time, and Laura, I think you can ask for, you weren't here fully last time, you had network issues. I think you can ask for the slides and the recording. Oh, yeah, that's available, right? The slides and the recording from the last session great. Okay, they all have good. So you can start from there and listen to the recording and then use the slides and you'll be able to. We had walked through some of these things, and for some people, we had them Google themselves and see what they are known for currently and how they can change that with LinkedIn. So just take a look at some of those resources. Yeah, just take a look at some of those resources. Okay, you've completed the exercise. Okay, great. So if you've created your visibility goal, what do you want to be known for? You've created your opportunity goal. What kind of opportunities do I want? Action plan. What are you doing weekly? Because it's great to have the visibility. It's lovely for you to have listed opportunities, but it doesn't have to remain in your books and in your plans. What are you going to do weekly to move yourself towards this goal? Visibility wise, am I going to be posting twice on LinkedIn, every day on Instagram, posting stories, sharing a little about my work with clients or my work at the office and all that? What have you outlined to do weekly to move you forward with the goals that you have set? Next slide, please. I build this a lot for myself sometimes, depending on what it is that I am doing in that period and what it is I want to focus on. So if I'm doing a bit more on the business, maybe I'm creating something new, a new product with the business, and I need to build visibility around it. So you can build a 90-day visibility plan. In the first month, you're building credibility. People need to know that you exist in the first place. People then need to know that you have the skills that you're talking about. They need to understand how these skills can help them, support them. So just that first month is for building credibility. You're not even talking about you're not talking about building visibility yet, but it's credibility. You're speaking about yourself, the skills that you have, the expertise you have, the experience that you have, and why people should be able to trust that you can deliver on this thing. So you are building credibility in the first month. So in that month, there is a lot about you sharing on the work that you have done with tidbits of evidence here and there. What kind of projects have you worked on before? What kind of clients have you supported before? What have you achieved with your roles at work and things like that? So in that first month, you are building that credibility. The second month, you are increasing the visibility that you started creating from the first month. So now you are putting yourself more out there. And again, because social media it's a, what do you call it? It always compounds. It's like compound interest. The first few videos, I can tell you, you might get discouraged because you're sharing things and you're thinking that, oh, this is really great value. I've put gems in here. People should be willing to engage and comment. And you will be disappointed. So you will do a very lovely video like this, and then 2 likes, 3 likes, and then one or two of your very close friends will help your life small and come and comment something very nice that will help you to feel like I've done something great. So, but you need to keep at it, because if you stop at that point, by the time you come back again, you will start from that bottom of only you and your friends liking and commenting, you and your friends and your man or your woman. So, the compounding is like compound interest with social media. So, you start out, when you start out, it might not be that great. In fact, in the first 2-3 weeks, you might not see the traction you are looking for. But that is the point where you sit and continue to do it, right? Because the more of, again, it's a game of numbers. It's a game of numbers. Imagine that you have 4 videos created on social media. That's all that you have. And you're trying to reach this audience, that audience. You want to reach 1,000 people, 1 million people. And somebody else has 500 videos. What is the probability that out of your 4 videos, your potential audience are going to stumble on one out of those 4? The probability is very low. Compare that probability to someone who has like 500 videos. That somehow, out of those 500 videos, someone that needs the services that they offer will stumble on at least 2 or 4 of the 500 videos that they have created. So it's a game of numbers, right? Increasing that visibility, you must keep at it. You must keep doing it. That's why we spoke about batch creating the last time. So at the point where your adrenaline is pumping, you are very motivated and you feel really great that week. Create as much content as you possibly can. If you can sit down one day and just keep changing your top and switching, for the ladies, switch the way you pack your hair, change your lipstick, and create a lot of videos. Do it. For the guys, it's even simple. Just keep switching your t-shirts or your button-up shirts. Create as much content as possible, from different angles on different topics, because there will be weeks within that month where you don't feel like doing it. You do not have any motivation. You're not inspired. You're just feeling meh. That's the time when the videos that you've created prior to now will come in handy, and you can schedule those to go out, and then your motivation will pick up again, because then you have put content out for that period where you're feeling demotivated, and then you'll be able to pick up again. It's, it just ebbs and, wins. So, increasing your visibility, it's not a 1-day thing, it's not a 2-day thing, it's not even a 1-month thing, it's a consistent something, and it can get very tiring, I promise you, because you get to a point when you're just so tired. And yes, it's very okay to take a break when you're tired, right? It's very okay to take a break. So don't get to the point where you feel like you must show up, even when you are not feeling great mentally, in your headspace, you're not feeling great. It's okay to take a break, right? But if you are looking to build visibility, you have to be ready to put yourself out there, even on the days when you don't feel like it, right? Month 3, sorry, this is an error. Month 3, which is the last bit, is to pursue the opportunities. You have to start, because you won't wait until you've gotten to 6 months. That's when you now start shooting for the opportunities and the roles that you're looking for. You will start pursuing those opportunities in month 3. Also because you have created some little bits of credibility and visibility here. And now you have something that you can point to. If someone wants to ask you a question of something, you have a video that you can just forward and say, oh, I spoke all about it in this video. And if you have any further questions, So you can begin to pursue those opportunities from month 3. And we already spoke about the pipeline for opportunities. You research, you tailor your documents, and then you apply, and you follow up. All right, next slide. Okay. So the good thing is that some people have already started doing this, which is great. Over the next 30 days, this is the challenge that it's a personal challenge, so you will challenge yourself. And I like that with the Thriving Circle, you have promised yourself that you're going to put yourself out there. You've promised yourself that you will give it your all and do everything that is within your power. So this is a challenge that you can take up and challenge yourself to deliver on over the next 30 days, all right? If you've not updated your LinkedIn, it's a good time to do that. Again, with the breakdown that we've spoken about, if someone falls on your LinkedIn, they should be able to know who you are, what do you do, who you support, what kind of impacts that you are creating, all right? Over the next 30 days, can you publish 4 posts? And this is very low actually, because this just means 1 post per week, and that's very small. So you can actually do 2 posts per week. You can publish a post on a Monday or Tuesday and have another on a Thursday or Friday. Or you can do probably about 6 posts. But yes, a minimum of 4 posts at least, right? Attend one industry event, a conference, something, anything. There's always something happening in Lagos and Abuja, at least. I don't know for the other states. In some other states, yes, too. But Lagos and Abuja, at least, there's always, beautiful. Melody says she does a minimum of 3 weekly. That's a nice number, a very lovely number. So attend one event. So find an event. It doesn't even have to be an event in your industry, like your core industry. But if there are some of the people that you think that will need your services in that event, go for it. Go and network, go and speak to 5 to 10 new people. All right. Reach out to 5 professionals. LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever. People that you think will be great to have in your network, just connect with them. Oh, I really like the content or the work that you put out here. I'd love to be an acquaintance or whatever. Or I'm just, sometimes it doesn't even have to be you asking for anything. Just they reach out to say, oh, hi, my name is this is what I do. I'm just reaching out to say I really love your content, and it's, if it's someone whose content is educative and you learn from it, I just want to appreciate for the kind of content or the videos or whatever that you put out. They are helpful to me because I learned from them, and I just wanted to give you your flowers. It can be as simple as that. That's how you start to build some of those kind of connections. Some of the most interesting networks that I have built with people have come from just a LinkedIn message of saying, oh, I just stumbled on your profile and I really love the work that you're doing and I just wanted to connect. And from there, just like, oh, hi, I just went to your profile as well. Really great. We should connect sometime. And then we make some time to just have a call over WhatsApp, a call somewhere. And that's how you have gotten someone new with a full separate network that you can also tap into, because at that point now, you started to build a rapport and you guys can check in with yourself once in a while. And if opportunities come through and the person thinks that this is a fit for you, you will be, somewhere in their mind, okay, I think this might be a good opportunity for this person, and they can refer or recommend you. Apply for 3 new opportunities. Again, put yourself out there. You see those opportunities that you think that you're not qualified for. I don't think I'm there yet. I need another 2 years to be able to put your things together and apply for it. So this is the challenge. I'm challenging you to do this over the next. I'm challenging myself as well, because even though my LinkedIn is always updated, but I have slacked terribly with posting on LinkedIn. I still gotten ridiculous. But yes, reaching out to professionals, no, that one is my forte. I see you, I like your content on LinkedIn, you seem like you are great. I will send that message and we will connect and we will check in once in a while, because I like to build networks and then apply for opportunities. So challenging everyone to think about doing this. Some of the things that this would do for you. When I say this a lot because sometimes it is not even in the results that come from it. It's in what it does to your mindset. So when I spoke about applying for opportunities that seem gigantic because you don't think you are the best fit for them, you don't think you are ready for them, you don't think you are skilled enough for them, what that does is that it slowly erodes that mindset of impossibility from your mind. So nothing seems too big because did I not shoot for this? Did I die? No. I got to this point, or I did not get in or whatever, but I shot for it, right? But it does a lot to your mindset. And the more your brain, it's a funny thing with the body. Your brain now begins to tell you yourself that you are actually doing something really great. So the more that you can hold yourself accountable for things, and then you do these things and your brain releases those nice feel-good hormones that come from accomplishing some of the tasks that you've put on your checklist, the more you are inclined to do them. So this one is not even about the results you're going to get from it. You may or may not. Some people might get results, and that's beautiful. Some people may not. But what it does is that it primes you mentally to see this as something that you can easily do, and removes that mindset of, I'm just going to hide in this my corner of the world and just keep doing my thing quietly. Nobody ever became great from doing that. There's a time to learn. There's a time to build. There's a time to put yourself out there, but you should also learn to build in public sometimes. All right. Okay. Final takeaway. Yeah. Opportunities rarely arrive fully formed. We've spoken about this quite a bit today, because you will never be 100% ready for any opportunity whatsoever. In fact, this is what I always say. If you see an opportunity and you think, oh, I'm 100% fit for that opportunity, it's probably below you, because the fact that you think that you're fit for it is probably below you. right? A lot of times it's probably below you. And you will see it from when the opportunity now pulls through. And then a lot of the times, the ones that you think, oh, this opportunity is not mine, it's not for me. I'm a little underexperienced for this, and then you shoot for it and you get it. And you see that there was actually no magic inside this thing. In fact, some of the things that you think you're not ready for were things that you could learn in 2 weeks, 3 weeks to a month. And then you were actually the person for the job. So opportunities almost never arrive fully formed, right? You must be willing to take the bull by the horn as it comes. They are attracted through visibility. They are accessed through relationships and networks. They are maximized through preparation, which is why you cannot please be using generic CVs or cover letters. And they are sustained through excellence, because you must always hold yourself to a value of excellence, to a lifetime of excellence. And this is something that people must know about you, that if you are doing something, you will do it well. And you will not just do it because you want to do it. There is no haphazard delivery in your dictionary. People must know it. It must be something that people ascribe to you. People must know that this person does things excellently. So these are things that you must reflect in your career as you speak about yourself in the work that you do, as little as your social media captions, there are so many tiny things. In fact, just paying attention to the little details that other people might not. And I'm saying this because these are some of the things that will differentiate you from the other random person who also has the same skill set that you have, right? That's what's going to differentiate you from every other person in your industry or in your area of expertise. So you must be driven by a lifetime of excellence. You must apply yourself to being excellent with whatever you do. So I'm leaving you with some of these keynotes, and I think we're done. This is our last slide, question slide. Closing, closing, closing. Oh yeah, I just wanted to share this. I've shared this before and I wanted to share it again. A lot of the things I've said this before. I was not the smartest person in the room. I was not the most qualified. In fact, I still think, and if you look at some of the things that I have been able to do, there are people who there are more experienced people, more skilled people, people who have a lot more years of experience than I do, that may not have been able to do that simply because they were not speaking or showing up for themselves. So some of the opportunities, a good chunk of the opportunities that I have accessed so far in my career, they didn't come because I was just the best at doing that, right? They came because I was showing my work intentionally. I was building relationships. I was staying prepared. And so that made it easy for these opportunities to find me. And when the opportunities found me, I maximized them. I used them and I got the best out of them. So visibility, this one I wanted to add, last bit. It's not about being famous. We're not looking to make you Instagram influencer. We're not looking to create Instagram influencers. That's not a bad thing on its own, all right? It's not a bad thing on its own, but we're not saying this because we now want you to be an Instagram influencer. It's not about going viral. Thank you so much. It's not about going viral. It's not about you being it's just about being findable. Let someone be able to find you. If someone goes on Instagram to look let someone be able to find you. If someone goes to look for this in Lagos, let them find you. This in Abuja, they should find you, right? It's about being findable. It's about being credible, and it's about being valuable. So if you have already built your value by improving your skills, getting educated, getting the right courses, certifications, all that, you are credible and you know you're already credible. You then have to ensure that you are finding, people need to be able to find you on different platforms. So that is what we are looking to achieve with visibility. We're not looking for virality or being famous or influencer lifestyle. We just need you to have track record out there that people can point to and say, oh, even way back in 2016, we've known this person to be this, that, and these are the things that he or she has always shared and spoken about. Let there be track record there that can be pointed back to in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, all right? That's what helps you to build. And even in 10 years' time, you look back and you will be glad with yourself that I built my portfolio to look like this. Because if we're being very honest, our current, what do you call it? The way our world is built right now, it's not the people who have the most expertise that get the opportunities. And even online, you see that. With businesses, you see that. The people who might have a lot, like better products, better services, but because they have not put themselves out there, people do not know that they exist. So, in our current world, it's gone beyond you being the best at what you do to you showing people and letting people know that you are the best at what you do, and people should be able to find you and know that you actually are the best at what you do. So that's my closing. We're going to take questions, comments, reflections, anything else, and then we'll go back to the pitches. I want to scroll up a little bit.
Wow, this was, what's the word? This has truly been amazing. Like, I think what you've shared with us today is just is strategies that would last one in a lifetime. And I'm actually serious. Like so many things that I think a lot of persons wouldn't share. Now, take for instance, the pet peeve you mentioned,
Mhm.
when you said if somebody doesn't know about your organization,
Yeah,
like you're hiring and the person does not, it's already a red flag. And I think it's a safety for me. And and
yeah.
and and you mentioned the little details. I think it's in the little details. People don't know that you can be very you can be very talented, you can be very ambitious, you can have all the experience. But those little things are what sets you apart because there are a lot of talented persons.
Yep.
So, and I tell people that when you are like if you're applying for something, the application already the interview already began immediately you sent the application. Like from
Mm-hmm.
how you sent it, like the message, the I mean, I've seen in fact there's a time I didn't respond to somebody because the person did not spell the organization's name correctly. That was his
Yes.
disqualification.
Yes.
I'm serious, like
I have candidates that I
that's true.
completely got
And
the interview. Yeah, for the same reason. If you cannot spell,
yeah,
just
like I mean
what might be busy with you.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and that is it. So imagine, and meanwhile, that person could be very talented. I didn't even get to even, I talk to the person, but I'm like, you already spelled this organization's name incorrect. That means you're not a patient person. I am not
Yeah.
someone who pays attention to details.
Because
I'm
it will
serious. So
bring that
that's it.
same behavior into my business. Because next thing you know, you
Exactly.
are chatting with customers and you are typing what I don't
Exactly.
understand. So,
Exactly. Exactly. So I need everybody here to actually know, to actually understand that it's really in those little things that these people, these opportunity carriers, this is what they actually check out for. How particular, how intentional you are about the organization. Like we mentioned, imagine asking somebody, okay, what do we do? And then they don't know. So you mean you just went to apply, you didn't do your research about the organization, you didn't go to the website to actually understand. And one thing I've come to realize is the people that I've actually interviewed, the people that actually do incredibly well are people who, in fact, you'd be surprised that, like, take for instance now, for TTC, if we're trying to hire somebody, there is somebody ever now, she's not here. She literally went to check my own personal pages on LinkedIn
yes.
and on Instagram.
Mhm. Yep.
So she told me after, like after she came on board, and she was like, she already went through my pages. She could already tell things that I like, who I am. So it made the interview very easy because me, I
Yeah.
was like, this girl, she's just smiling. Like, how is this interview this smooth? And that is what it actually does that we don't know. My EA here, when I was looking for an EA, I went obviously like through LinkedIn and everything. And the surprising thing. So normally, if you put out a job on LinkedIn, they would send you, they would apply and all of that. You would be the one reaching out. So a
Mhm.
couple of them already like sent in their CVs and all of that. But you know what this guy did? He took the next step to actually sending me a DM.
Yeah.
I'm like immediately, like if I think I kept out the posts let's say in the afternoon and the
Mhm.
next 30 minutes to 1 hour. I was thinking,
Mhm.
okay, maybe something that will take like 2 days, 3 days. And this guy already sent. So I was like, okay. And then let me get on the call with you. I had a call with
Mhm.
him. Smooth, hired, you're hired. That's serious. Like I knew a lot of persons already sent me applications. I
Mhm.
I couldn't even go and start checking. Like
Mhm.
literally. That's it.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
always those little things, those little things that actually set
Yep.
you apart. Your
Yeah.
personality, how personable you are. All of those things, and which is something you've mentioned. Like, it's a pet peeve to many brand owners, to many,
Yeah.
like, anybody who's hiring. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you want to build with me and you've not done your research about?
Do nothing about who you want to
You're
build
just
with.
here about the money. Exactly. I
Yes.
say you're just here
Yeah.
for your own pocket and not necessarily for the good of my organization. So I
Yeah.
really, really love that you mentioned that. I think one thing that stood out for me also was when you said be findable. And that's it, because a lot of people just want to go viral, but it's not about virality. I think this is what I think we're in a world where currently the generation we're in is people just want to just have
Oh,
millions of followers,
yeah.
like,
Just
and
know.
it's exactly. And many of these people, if you check, like, I mean, because I also do like marketing, and I've been currently I'm working on a project that requires like influencers and all of that. So I've really been studying and all of that, and then I realized that, okay, these people don't even have following. They don't have value. Like, many of them don't even have,
Yeah.
they are not aligned. So, and
Yes.
that is why the influencer marketing world now era is going down. So people are using
Yeah.
UGC. So it's literally people like us that our
Yeah.
daily life, how the products can,
Hmm.
are ready to share. So
Yeah.
it's really more about value. Just put
Hmm.
out your stories, like, tell your stories. And there was something I watched this movie. So this will tell you that these things we're sharing, they've been there like since ages.
Yeah.
I watched the Crown, and it was like
Mm.
a movie about the late Queen of England,
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth. And there was something that Winston Churchill said, and it was like, can we just a bit? So, and this is so when we say like share your story, it's not like just for same sake. Like, you just have to. So I think the mindset, I know each will be kind to me, but I want to write it myself. So
Mm.
yeah, so you
Yeah.
understood that people would have different perceptions about you if you are not the one
Hmm.
actually controlling that perception. I don't know if you get what I'm actually saying now. Take for instance,
Yeah.
see, somebody goes through your LinkedIn page, one can like say, "Oh, this lady is truly valuable."
Mm.
Like, that is the perception. That is so you've intentionally created that perception in people's mind that when they go there. Meanwhile, you go to some people's page and you cannot tell exactly what they are about. So even when they are sharing the
Hmm.
idea, because it is because of the lens in which you've seen them in, like maybe from their social media, that is what you would use in judging them. So I think that's really stood out. And one thing I've also come to realize from my own personal experience is that when you are findable, you don't chase, you attract. And if
Yep.
I'm being
Oh,
honest, even on LinkedIn, I don't do the reaching out. I really
yep.
don't. The only person that I think I've reached out to recently was the commissioner for health, and even that one was because we met in an event and we
Mm.
connected, and I said, obviously it's me
Follow.
that will go and reach out to her. I follow up
Exactly.
exactly. But I can tell you for a fact that most people that I've connected with, like intentionally connected with on LinkedIn, they've been the one reaching out to me. So
Hmm.
it's like you have such strong value, and they just
Hmm.
want to, like, oh, you seem to be doing this, you seem to be doing this. What exciting thing is happening in TTC? Some of them will
Mm.
mention TTC to tell you. Like, I did
Yep.
not go and meet them. Oh. I did not go
Yep.
and tell them. There's certain
Yep.
people certain partnerships that are actually in the pipeline. I didn't reach out. They are the ones coming and telling me,
Found you.
"Oh, this I get speaking engagements." Like,
Hmm.
literally, I told somebody I never chase it. I'm not about that life saves, because I'm really more on value, focused on value. Because I believe that when I build myself, when I also tell my story intentionally, opportunities would find me. There's no two way around it. So instead of
Yep.
chasing virality, chasing those opportunities, which is actually great. I mean, focus more on value creation,
Yeah.
becoming so valuable that you cannot be ignored.
Yep.
And one way, and many of us, I keep saying, many of us are already valuable. So what we need to just do is make ourselves findable. I
Yeah.
recently started creating on TikTok, which is actually like not something I'm used to. I believe I don't do those.
Yeah.
So, but I
Neither
have
do
been
I.
posting on. I serious. I'm not there. I'm not about that life. But serious, I've been posting on TikTok and I've been even on my status. I could go to a wedding and I'll say, come with me. I'm serious. And I
Mm,
realized that the level of comments I'm seeing, I say these people, see my status. Wow, wow, wow. Literally.
yeah.
So it's because your life is interesting to them. They feel like, okay, this person is real, this person is an human being. They just want to be connected with you. They just want to like do business with you. I want to
Mm-hmm.
share this last story. This one even happened recently. I never knew I could get that kind of, is it like attraction on Instagram? I would have thought LinkedIn because I feel like
Oh,
LinkedIn is where I'm best positioned, as a business consultant. Instagram still
yeah.
shows some supply boy, all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So I this apparently somebody sent me a mail. I was just like surprised. And they're like, please, would want to have a meeting with you, this and that. I want to talk to you about like a startup like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually in a meeting. So I was okay. I responded with my number. She sent me a message on WhatsApp. And they sent me the message. I saw the message. I couldn't respond because I was in a meeting. Okay. I was around rounding up. By the time I rounded up, those people already called. And
Yeah.
I usually will never have what exactly could be so urgent that
I
you're
know.
calling me. I think so. I was like, okay, I just picked the call. Next thing, I saw two ladies, one woman and at our EA, which
Mm-hmm.
is very surprising. And then the EA was like, "Hello, good day. I actually followed you on Instagram. I sent you a message. And
Ah,
any message that they send to you, it will go on request, which is something we
yeah,
mostly don't see until after a while."
yeah, yeah.
So she said she sent me a message. I didn't respond. So she was able to get my email, be findable. She was able to get my email,
Oh,
and then she actually sent
yep,
me. And she
yep.
said they've actually been following me on Instagram for a while. They've been observing,
Okay.
and then after she said that, the Oga Madam just took over and said, "I need you." I'm serious, okay? She said, "I need
Wow.
you." I'm serious. Like, I need you. I said, "You need me." So she obviously, from my social media, Instagram, you might not be able to tell exactly all the many because I do a lot of them with multiple socialites.
Yeah.
But she could tell that, okay, this guy seems to be like a personal brand coach, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So she was like, "What exactly do I do?" I said, "You that you need me. You don't even know what exactly." So she was like, so she was like, "How can you help me?" I'm serious. So she asked me, "How can you help me?" I'm like, "How can I help you?" So I knew that obviously what she was talking about was maybe about around branding, marketing, or
Mm-hmm.
personal brand. When I could see
Mm-hmm.
their startup, so that is even me taking initiative. So I did not go and start saying, "Oh, I'm building a business."
Mm-hmm.
So I just shared with her, okay, so I'm a personal brand coach. I work with brands. I also co-founded a marketing studio. This is what we do. This is the value we offer, this and that. And she's like, nice. I would really love you to possibly come on board as my personal brand strategist.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but she's like, we'll come to that. So currently,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to build a startup, this, that, and I need a
Mm-hmm.
consultant. And see, when she was saying it was like, it's you or nobody. I don't know if there are matches like it's you. Ah, I'm like from Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine like from it that kind of quality. And when I
Yeah.
obviously you know that this all these big, I don't know, Lagos women like literally, I say from Instagram. I know gonna be
Yep.
carrying my phone and be putting video. Hey, I have to be the personal brand. I have to this. I'm serious. So it's really more about you sharing your stories,
Mm-hmm.
sharing it in a way that it is attractive, that people can easily find you, and not
Yeah.
just find you, but find other things that are interesting, that they
Yeah.
just want to work with you, that they cannot see. Because obviously, there are a lot of persons who can do that, but because you've shared exciting things about yourself, you've shared about your friends. So people are not, people buy into people, which we all
Yeah.
know. So it's not even
Yeah.
about your offering anymore. It's not about what you are offering.
Bye,
It's really
people.
about
Yeah.
who you are, the
Mm-hmm.
values that you are able to share,
Yeah.
the things that you know that you value. So when you see
Yeah.
that you value relationships, anybody wants to work with anybody who values relationships,
Yeah.
because the way you talk about your friends, the way they want to work with that person. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that
They
is
can
what
already see
makes
your
it
personality.
easy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is what makes it easy. Some people, they don't even share on their status because they are doing oral farming. I don't know what that is called. Like they
That
are
kind of
saying,
aura,
oh,
that aura should bring
I'm
10 million.
mature, but I cannot share. Meanwhile, you
That aura
don't know
should bring 10
who
million.
and who are actually on that. Maybe you say one big man's number or one big woman's number one time like that. You don't know if she's checking your status or anything. And maybe you
See
posted
what
something.
you're
And
about.
I've seen, hey, I've never ever went on to like start applying for jobs. I haven't. I'm serious. I've never also been the one to start saying, oh, I'm pitching. Please come and work with my brand or come and work with my. I'm serious. All the customers we've gotten, the one that we got that literally just changed my business trajectory. That is correct. It was from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn. In fact, that's what I realized was the number. My number was not even there, like the
Mm-hmm.
number for the company. So the
Yeah.
person called, but the number was not like the number is an incorrect one. I be the one that maybe we've used before, but we are not
Mm.
using again. So the person
Yeah.
called and it wasn't going to imagine, because I never knew that that's I just thought open LinkedIn page for LinkedIn sake. Let's open business page on LinkedIn. So the person called and nobody picked. So the person reached out to me on LinkedIn. I was like, I
Mm.
tried calling your business number. So we got talking, and the guy said, oh, I saw that your LinkedIn page reposted your content, and I just liked your ad. I'm serious. That was how we closed a. Is it was how they because a multi-million naira deal.
Yeah.
Like I'm serious, and obviously that just changed my
Yeah.
growth trajectory. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's really humbling as to how. And when you talk about how there are a lot of people who are even maybe more qualified for the roles or for the opportunities you've gotten, it just makes sense because it's not even about who is more qualified. It's just about who is best positioned for these
Mm-hmm.
opportunities. So
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think this has just been deeply value packed. Like I was just wow. Like I just keep saying wow, 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 wow. So I don't know, but please, if you have questions, please let's ask. This honestly, I still need to go back and listen to this, like even for myself, because there's one
Mm.
thing you mentioned again about even the how you bought a course and you added to that. That blew my mind. I was like, what? So that exists? Like you buy a
Yeah.
course and you're added to like a
Yeah.
a like a
That
very
access.
curated,
Yeah.
yeah. Like that's interesting. That's like, I mean, so honestly, this has been such an amazing one. So yes, please, if you have questions, I think you should ask questions. And I know we do have questions. So please ask. Laura, don't you have questions?
I even wanted us to. Is Melody still on the call?
Yes, she is. Yes, she
Okay.
is.
I can only see a few people on my. Okay. Okay. Cool. Um, I wanted us to quickly tweak her pitch. I like that she shared, and the two
Okay.
people shared. I think Laura shared as well. Yes, Laura shared. Okay. So I want us to tweak that slightly. Um, so Melody, you can just get a sense of. So you said I'm Melody Job, a psychology-driven brand strategist and copywriter. Okay, I build visibility and credibility that converts into revenue using the core framework. So that core framework, me, I don't know what core framework is. The person who you're speaking to may not know. So I would rather you say there what that is about. I build visibility and credibility for businesses, coaches, and service providers that converts into revenue using a framework that this for their personal brands or their business brands. Because the core framework is like a technical term for your industry. I do not know what the core framework is. So if you're pitching that to someone, the person like, what is the core framework, right? So that's something that you can tweak. And you can tweak a little about your introduction itself, who you are as a person, right? Who you are as a person. And then the last bit, okay, you already mentioned credibility that converts into revenue. You can put a little bit about impact as well. Maybe tad bit, little bit about what you have achieved for a couple of clients or business owners that you've worked with in the past. But this is really great structure. So you can just incorporate some of those things and you can always keep tweaking it. And you can share with ChatGPT and ask it to critique what you have shared. And it will also give you some pointers based on what it knows like about you that you shared in the past. Okay. And then with Laura, all right, let's just go there. I'm Laura Akman. I work at the intersection of creativity, strategy, and IP, helping founders and creators turn their ideas into brands built with intention, not just visibility. I have a first-class law degree specializing in IP. Spent my career inside brand and social media management. What I've noticed is most creatives have a great idea, can't articulate it, value, or protect it. That's the gap I sit in. Building toward being a full-time creative and IP strategist. Laura, I really like your pitch. I would rather the parts that you put at the bottom, you take it to the top. So that's a very core part of your pitch that already tells how you are differentiated from other people. It's great, very lovely to have a first-class law degree, but I do not think it belongs in a pitch, at least for the initial parts of it. That can go into a much lengthier conversation when you are speaking with this person in detail. But I think after you have introduced yourself and at the intersection of creativity, this and that, you can move up the statement of saying that creatives have a great idea, but can't articulate its value or protect it. That's the gap I sit in, and that's what I offer. Move that up, because that is what you want to grab people's attention after who you are and what qualification that you have. And then you can now later add that part of you help founders and creatives turn their ideas into brands built with intention and not just visibility. But again, feed this into any of the AI platforms that you use, and based on what it knows about you, ask it to critique this. Something like if I were pitching to an investor in an elevator and I had only 2 minutes, what do you think I should put at the forefront of my pitch? Give me in 4 to 5 statements, a very strong pitch statement that I can land in 2 minutes. And it will give you some potential additional areas that you may not have noticed. And then also my reward this a little bit to help your pitch land even better. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Melody and Laura. I hope that helps you. Okay. Yeah, since we're done critiquing and going through the pitches that were shared, any questions, comments? So we can call it a day.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. While others, I guess they are still thinking, because I need them to ask questions, because they actually asked me questions. And this question,
Okay.
so I don't know why they are holding back. Okay, so yes. So many people become visible but don't necessarily become valuable. So in your experience, what separates people who consistently attract opportunities from those who only attract attention?
So interesting. And it falls in the core of the value that you are providing. So, which is what we said about virality and the current state of influencing and whatever. If you're just coming online and telling us about your day and the things that you've done, that's nice to be able to build a personal connection with people so that they can see that you are human and you do these things. But you need to also give out value. Unfortunately, though, in our current state of social media, not just in this part of the world, because let's be honest, it's not just in Nigeria or Africa, in a lot of places. Current state is that people just want to consume entertaining content. But how you differentiate yourself from just being an entertainer or an influencer who just wants to make money off social media itself, not necessarily positioning themselves for opportunities. What differentiates you from that person is the kind of value that you bring. So if I am someone who works in business consulting, when I come online, whether on LinkedIn, on Instagram, what are the kind of things I am sharing? Am I sharing something that can be helpful to a small business owner, to someone who is managing a startup, to someone who is thinking of starting a business? Are there any things of value that this person will see on my page and want them to stay? But beyond that, for potential opportunities, investors, career growth, whatever, what are the things I have shared about the work that I have done? That's the value that you're also bringing, because a lot of times when you're sharing about like projects you've worked on, things you've done, you are starting out with, this was the problem. this was the potential solution that we were seeing, and this was how we solved it. That is something that can be useful to someone else because they might find themselves in the same situation or a similar situation, and they can use that information. That's how you differentiate yourself from somebody who is just coming to post, get ready with me, a day in my life. Because for them, the profit is in the content. The content has to go viral for them to profit out of it because they are getting paid off of social media. For you as a professional, your value is in showing your credibility, your skills, your values, and what you bring to the table. So while it's great to have content that connects you as a human to other people on your stories, you can have some of those, lighthearted things and all that. But you also need to have, so in your content pillars, you need to have a nice balance of educative or informative content. And then there can now be entertaining content or comedy or whatever, and then lighthearted content or all those things. But you must have that balance to stay findable, but also be valuable. That's what differentiates you from an influencer or a content creator and a professional who is building visibility.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. So yes, I think Blessing, you do have a question. Is Blessing here? Yes, Blessing, you can go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sound and clear.
So my network has been taking me off for a while now. I don't know why, but I would say to our teacher, or should I say speaker for today, that it's been an insightful session so far. Thank you so much for all of the knowledge that you've imparted on us. Thank you, Oyin. I want to ask my question, and I'm speaking towards attending events, networking. Personally, I would say that I used to be somebody that is an event freak. Like that's one thing anybody will say about me. If I'm not going to a party, I'm going to an event. It could be an educational event. You get all these forums and conferences. Of course, I want to learn and I also want to meet people. But I I felt somehow, not like feel some. I just thought about it. I reflected and I was like, most of these people I tend to meet at conferences, at places like this, sometimes building that relationship with them is hard. I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong. I don't know if there's a better way towards it, but there's always a disconnect midway, and I'll be like, it's not what if I want to attend events. Most times I'll just tell myself that if I want to attend this event because of the knowledge I need to gain from it, I'm going to attend online because dressing up and going to these places sometimes doesn't worth it. And it's very cagey if you decide to now attend this event with your friends already. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If you now tend to say, "Oh, come, let's attend this event together," you already put yourself in a box. Like you to speak to other people now become, because you don't want to leave your friends, you don't want to let them be left out. You get it's just somehow. And honestly, this year, is it towards the end of last year, I just told myself, I'm not doing events for now. Let me just all the ones I've attended, let me go and utilize the knowledge down and use it for my good first. Then I see where it takes me to. I somehow I kind of feel like when you tell yourself that let me just take a pause for a while, but it became something that I don't even want to do anymore.
Right.
So
Okay.
I don't know if there's something I can do to this effect.
I kind of get where you're coming from, especially because these days everybody wants to have an event. There are so many.
That's what you
Yes,
just said.
let's be
Yes.
very honest with ourselves. These days, literally everybody wants to have an event. I don't know whether that's the new gold mine or the new cash cow, and so many people, even people who have no business setting up events of the manner that they are setting up, are setting up events. All right. So the first thing to do is that not every event deserves your attention, your presence, and your time. And that's primarily because there are some events that are just for the learning. There are a few events that are just for the learning. You are going here because this lineup of speakers, there is something that I have to learn from them. And if in those kind of events, you do not necessarily end up networking as much as you might have wanted to, that's still fine, because the core purpose of you going for that event was to learn. If you are able to network at that event, that's also fine. But a lot of times, some of the events, and let me add a bit of context to this, because some of these events also have some bits of classism and elitism added to it. So it's
True. Yes.
you're not at my level or at my class or my financial grade, I shouldn't be speaking to you and things like that. So again, you must carefully curate the kind of events that you are going for. There are events where you know that, okay, this is like, if you're a business owner, this is like a business type event where I'm going to meet other business owners who will be like useful peers to me. But beyond that, I'm going to meet people who I can learn from business-wise. I can connect with them online. And don't fall into the trap of thinking that you must now have a personal relationship with this person right from the beginning, simply because you attended that event. It doesn't always work like that. Imagine that this person that you're talking about, great resource, top voice in your industry, is at the event. And there's like 50 people who try to network with that person at the event. That person can't keep up with each person that tried to network with them one-on-one. But there's something that can start off from there. You go, if you are able to, and you have the opportunity to introduce yourself, tell them, what stood out for you and the bits of things that they shared that were useful. And that's great. Go and follow them on social media. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to be in their inner circle to be able to learn from them. Go follow them on social media and start cultivating that relationship from there. It will go from you just reading their posts, commenting on it, commenting strategically, not just random comments. What you are learning, that constant engagement also now puts you, because there's no way you are following someone, you've met this person at an event before. Maybe you sent a DM to follow up after you met at the event and you said, okay, I met you at this event and it was really great meeting you, blah, blah. They may see it, they may not see it immediately. But then there's something about you just consistently engaging with that person. And then it's just constantly like, this person is, always commenting very strategically on my post. And you can see that this is somebody who's actually digesting some of the things that I am sharing as advice or tips and all that. And that is how that relationship builds. But expecting that this person will automatically build a rapport with you or begin to network with you from the beginning of that event, you're not even being fair to the person, because imagine that there's you are one person. Imagine that 50 other persons from that event did the same. They can't keep up, all right? And because most people want to feel a need at that point, you want to take a picture with that speaker. You want people to know that you were at that event, not necessarily because you think this person is going to be great to have like network-wise or as a support or a mentor or a coach. So just first of all, think about it from that angle of a long-term thing. Don't expect that simply because you met this person at the event and I spoke with you and said hello and I like what you shared at the event, you're automatically now buddies. You must now have a rapport. You will build that over time. I have a business coach who I was following for at least 5 or 6 years, just constantly following before I attended. Well, I had taken some of her online courses, but before I attended one of her physical events where we finally got to have like a one-on-one conversation, I had been following her for like 5, 6 years. In fact, I had put in my notes a long time ago that God had told me to just go and attach yourself to this person and just keep learning from their business advice. And this person shares steady business coaching advice, like literally weekly, almost every day, right? But then that relationship did not properly. Now I can send her a DM and say, oh, this is going on with my business. And I can expect that if she's not too busy, she will respond to me in maybe 48 to 72 hours. But I couldn't do that in 2015 or, okay, I wasn't following her in 2015, maybe 2019, 2020, 2021, even up to like maybe 2023. I couldn't do that because she didn't know me. We had no, but that constant engagement and then going for an actual business events that she organized and having that one-on-one and then continuing engaging was how I built that relationship. So again, it takes time. It will always take time for you to build those kind of relationships. So at the start, you go, you gain the knowledge, and you grab their handles and begin to just learn. Start learning first and engaging. And then you will get to the point where it then seems like, okay, you are able to build a proper rapport or now be able to have access to this person one-on-one. But beyond that, please carefully curate the kind of events that you're going for. Not every event, honestly, not every. And Lagos, I think Lagos this has become a thing in Lagos. Everybody is organizing events. Don't throw away your time and your and spend your transportation as well or waste your fuel to just go for every random event. I am very particular about even the business coaches that, in fact, as a rule, I do not consider you a business coach if you have never run a business. I have no business.
Mm.
I have no business listening to you. I'm sorry, it can sound
Yes.
very somehow to some people, especially with somebody who, if for example, I'm looking to learn and you have not run a production business in Nigeria before and you're telling me to come and coach, what do you want to coach me? I have on the ground experience of running this business for 7+ years. What experience do you have? You have head knowledge and theory. So some things you cannot
Yeah.
actually relate to. So if you have not run a business, you have no business experience, I probably will not listen to you. You give lovely theory, but I can't call you a coach. You might be someone I follow on social media and I can, learn from your resources and everything that you share, but you can't coach me. You can coach me if you
Yes.
run a business in Nigeria for longer than I have. Then I can listen to you
Mm.
because that's some of the things that I am experiencing. You probably experienced it 3, 4, 5 years ago, and you can give me practical advice. So filter as well. Filter the events that
Mm.
you're kind of people that you're looking to engage with. Filter it very seriously, all right? But then also think about it from a long-term perspective. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. I think that's such a great one. Could vividly remember I paid 100,000 naira for an event before. Okay, so already the event was doesn't seem like a fine dining experience and all of that, and it was happening in Ikoyi.
Mm.
So there was a lot of like positioning and all of that that I just kind of like, I just wanted to see what must that feel like. And I think those ones I think the ones you invest in are also a very, very great one. Like when you pay for like experiences, that means that they're
Paying
trying
for
their
that
possible best to
access.
make sure, yes, they're making sure that you get the most of it. But even the surprising thing is when I even got there, I was only able to connect to two persons. And that's because
Mhm.
my kind of person, I am a energy person. So I sat there, honestly, people were talking, chit chatting, chatting. I was just there. And so when I didn't want to introduce ourselves, I introduced myself. I never knew that a particular lady who is, in fact, if I'm to like from perception, everybody there, I think that woman is a very big, she's in the Koi club, doing incredible. I know her business. So as I was introducing myself, the woman was like, I think I know you. I have seen you in this person's comments.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh yeah, yes, that's my friend. I was like, yeah, well done, you're so supportive. I'm sure that's what she said. And that's how we
Mm.
started talking. Now,
Yeah.
that was the first. Everybody were, people were always, and people were trying to also connect with her because obviously
Mm.
the kind of person she is. So you're trying to make, I don't know if you get what I'm actually saying, try to
Yeah.
like try and talk and talk and talk. And I was just like, oh wow, such a pleasure to meet you, ma. And I could recognize her, but I did not go about being, oh, hello, ma, hello, ma, hello, ma. No, like, so, and that was how that happened. And I
Yeah.
spent time talking to her than every other person in that event, even than the curator of the event herself. I'm serious because we just clicked naturally.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
one thing I would say is don't be in a hurry to like connect with people. In fact, what's the point of having a lot of contacts when it's not even used? You can't leverage on them, you can't reach out to them. Like there is not that
Yeah.
energy. So I think that is what she is saying. So I think just be yourself. You will find your people. And
Yeah.
if the event, if you don't find them, it's still fine. Like just be yourself. And I think the one that also happened, which was recent, the last event I went to. So I don't even go for any event I see. I intentionally check who are the speakers, what is
Yeah.
the event like, where is it taking place. All of that is these I check. So this particular event, in fact, so it's two events, one on the island, one on the mainland, and they were in very prime locations. So I knew, okay, this is amazing. So I picked the one on the mainland. I went there, cool, amazing. experienced all of that. When everybody did their networking, I just sat down. And while when they were teaching, I was also talking. I realized that okay, there was an energy between me and two guys. I was like, oh, cool. Bless you. I don't get my friends for here. And literally, we were gisting. I told them, oh, I think you'll be my friend. I'm serious. That was it. And I can tell you for a fact that even today, I still chatted with one of them. Now, I
Mm.
think that was not even the highlight of the experience. It was
Yeah.
that I was taking pictures. Oh, I was taking, you know me now, you know me. I went to start taking pictures. So I was taking the picture close to a lift,
Yeah.
and a very beautiful woman was walking, and I think she was trying to take the lift. I think the lift was delayed in some way. So I complimented her
Mm.
and said, "Oh my, you look so beautiful. I love your outfit." And she was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I was like, "Would you mind if I take your picture? Serious kill." And she was like, "Oh, I'm very stressed, but I mean, why not?" I took her picture. And then you know what she said? I took the pictures, and I know I can take pictures. So you see, some of you who have skills, I'm not using it for the right things.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I took her picture. She looked at it. She's like, "Oh, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much." I know what she said. She said, "I would never forget you."
Mhm.
Me, my face was like, Hazal.
Wow.
You never forget me. Who are you? That was out. I'm very sure that was what my face actually gave. So the man was like, and then she introduced her. She said, "I'm the commissioner for health for August State." So yeah, I just talked to you like that. You don't have your entourage
Just
or
like that.
who that just like that. And honestly, and she was like, I was just, obviously that kind of moment, with the way I've given my face, I was just anything I could have said just went off my head. But
Mm.
and I was like, oh my, I would really love to connect with you. And next thing she gave me her name. I sent connection request on LinkedIn, and I'm very sure she connected with me, sent her a message immediately. And
Wow.
what made it even more beautiful was she could see my work on LinkedIn, what I
Yeah.
am doing, all of that. So when it also added to the perception. So she saw
Mhm.
me. Her first experience of me was I am likable, I am personable, I am
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah.
That was my first. It was not bad. It was not on anything value. I didn't tell her who I am or what I do. It was just my
Mhm.
name. And but when she saw my LinkedIn page, she was like, "Oh, nice." And I kid you not, we had a chat. And I'm like, and obviously, I had to know, I'm being careful. I don't want to be. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep,
Forward.
like, you're watering the plants because you
Yes.
just never know when you would need her or when something, you need somebody in this place. And that's
Mhm.
just how it works. So, one thing,
Yeah.
and I kid you not, so that means it was only three people I connected with from that
Connected.
event. Just
Yeah.
three. Three. And it was a big event, but it was just three. And those three
Yeah.
are quality connections. And I connected with them based on energy level. So I think that's one thing because people can tell sense that you're fake. If you
Yeah.
like, yes, if you come off like, hey, they can know that you're performing. Yes, because it's really more all this networking is really more performance. Okay, if I'm being
Mhm.
honest, because you
Mhm.
know someone comes to me, I am doing this, I'm doing this. What do you do? Like, excuse
Mhm.
you, I beg, I beg, I
Yeah.
beg. But when it's like an energy, you are laughing, you're smiling,
Mhm.
and there are moments there, and there's something you are talking, and something that is relating, you are discussing. They can tell, oh, this person seems to have sense. This person is not an olodo or pricing
Mhm.
person. All of those stuff they can deduce from how you share, how you talk, how you speak, and
Mhm.
they just want to be your friend. And before you know it, they just walk across to you and you just start talking. And that could be the point of you going to that event. It's just
Yeah.
it. So I think it's one thing. We don't go to events just to meet people. No. I think it's to meet the right people, but also the kind of quality of event you go to does matter. A lot of events are happening. I'm seeing influencers doing a corporate event.
Mm.
You are not in the corporate world.
You have
You
no
want to teach
experience.
me how to work? I'm like, what exactly? And people are going for this.
What am I supposed to learn
Like,
from
what
you?
exactly? What are you trying to gain from attending this kind of event that is not immersive? It's not. It's just like I don't know. I think it's because of their sponsorship. Landmark is sponsoring them. This is sponsoring them, and like they get money. So
Yeah.
I think that's very important. We need to select, look
Mhm.
at events, look at them. What I do now is I have like an event board
Mhm.
occupied. Okay, what is this like? Who are the speakers? What's the
Yeah.
experience? Where is it going to happen? The
Mhm.
space too does matter. It's for your
Yeah.
positioning. You should not
Yeah.
be going to an event. Why would we go to an event in, sorry, for anybody going to an event in, would I say Abulegba or Segotedo or, like Kubwa? What exactly? Do you get what I'm
Mhm.
actually saying? Like you should,
Yeah.
all those positions does work. So if you go to a quality space, you meet quality people, highly quality people, and
Mhm.
then that's way because of how and that's why you have to be personable. You cannot just say I want to just start talking to anybody. No, you have to be able to observe who wants to talk to you. All of that. If
Mhm.
not, you just keep collecting contacts, and you now
Yeah.
send a message, you will not respond
Just
to
keep
you.
piling them for nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So all those networking events, like it's you have to be intentional on what value do you want to gain and how do you want to be positioned. I think that is how to get the best from these events, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, really does resonate. So I think Daniel does have a question. Daniel, can you speak? Daniel
Yeah.
Duashego.
Yeah. Then after that, there's a question from Laura in the chat. So after
Yes,
Daniel.
guys,
Yes.
and good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Good evening, and thank you, Yin, and to our guest speaker, Dr. Or to pronounce the name, please, ma.
Hey, it's fine.
Okay, Dr. K, good evening.
Yes, Dr.
So,
K.
yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for the insightful session. All right. So, as to when you said, okay, the content, and I was like, when you said minimum of four, I was like, 4K. I was like, well, four in 30 days is kind of low, actually. So,
Yes.
coming from the perspective of someone, and based on the fact that you said, you having 4 videos and someone, a creator who has 500 videos, the chances of you actually, people seeing coming across you, there's something we call the KLT factor, like where they know you, they like you, they trust you,
Mhm.
and all of those things. Uh, those 3 factors, you just have 4 videos, and then yeah, you're already saying you have a paid program or you have a paid product, and people are like, who is this one? I better get out, that kind of thing. So in my experience as a social media manager, I'm like, now we can't. When I do, some guys be like, they want to be doing. There was a time I actually had an email marketing job, like the
Mhm.
first job ever. I was in my final year then in
Mhm.
Benin Republic, and they're like, oh, we want to only send emails Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was like, why though? I was like, well, I will not really say anything, but regardless of the fact that it was like one of my first remote jobs at the time, and the fact that I was like, this thing, are you sure? Because I felt that the fact that it was maybe people who have bought for them in the past and their past client and all that, I'm like, really 2 emails in a week might not really work like that, right? So I was like, because there are other people in their inbox always competing for their
Yes.
attention, and I feel much more as an email marketer like the fight
Mhm.
is too much, because either you end in the promotion spams or you end in the primary or you end in spam generally,
Yes, fine.
right?
Yep.
And some people have a lot of email address for different purposes, right? So we want to email them as much as possible, like as much as we want, like because it doesn't matter, the old records and all of that. So
Mhm.
even when I transitioned into social media management too, I actually sorry, please hold on. Sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright. So my own mindset now as to that is that, okay, since I might not really have the time to start creating a content calendar kind of list or anything like that. So what my solution was to go the route of, okay, I like this, this way of going about creating content with using maybe a voice note or audio note, sending it to AI, and then AI polishes it, and then I go back to copy paste it into a Google Docs, edit it, put in my brand voice and all of that. Something that's consistent with my personality though, because AI can be very funny sometimes, because it can be giving you this kind of adjustment that you did not really want or you did not really have,
Yeah.
hyping. Yeah. So I did something which before, the class, I think I've done it for like 2 weeks now. It's just that I've been very, very lazy to put out content, right? And when he has already, I don't know, when he's on my neck, he has flogged me in both in public and privately, actually. So I know he's going to still do it again this week because he has said this month is me and him. So the thing is, I've actually done this like that was like last month thereabouts, right?
Yeah.
And I think this was even before you had your first session to the last time. So what I did was, I obviously I was already using AI. I've already been using AI before. So I just started to like look at the history and everything that I've, from our chat and use it to create a content prompt for me every day, like for the next 60 to 90 days.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you have everything. Like you have all of my clients work, or maybe I want to write a caption, I want to do this, I want to do that. You have to
Yeah.
create a content prompt for me. Like, okay, if a brand comes to you and says this and this and this, what would be your strategy to actually do this? And you put a question mark, and then that is going to form my response. Like my my response is going to be the content for the day. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So my question basically is, of all this whole story that I'm saying and the whole thought process is, how viable is that in becoming visible and using it to build a personal brand basically? Because some people be like, okay, it's your first time, like, because I had a LinkedIn account before and the thing just I did not really remember the login details and so I've created this is like 2021, there about yes, I could remember vividly, it's like 2021. So I didn't really remember the login and I left there because of this fake life kind of preaching. I don't know. You attended one local church event or one event and then you just say, "Oh, I did this." I don't know how they do that thing, but I'm like, I'm not sure this is for me because you see someone of 16, 17, someone your age, you be like, wait, I beg, nah, we are both Nigerians, right? Right? We both live in this country, Shebi, and you're my age. Like, what's happening, right? And that comparison, paradox just comes over you, right?
Yeah.
So in building a personal brand and all of that, I'm thinking, okay, you have it's not going to be purely when they come to your page, it's going to be purely SEO or email marketing or social media
Mhm.
management. It's not only going to be about like, some people just everything about them. There's nothing like their personal life and all of that. So with that in mind, like instead of creating that content prompting and all of that, like what is your own view? I think I would just have to like maybe combine yours with mine and I'm just trying to pick your brain, obviously. Like, how viable is it in, um, in in the visibility and building a personal brand specifically, and the fact that foundationally, as someone who is like starting out already, people they don't really know you, right? They don't even really know you from Adam or anything like that. How do you mix these contents together to actually build a wholesome personal brand?
Mm. Okay. Quite some angles to your question. But the good thing is that you have help with all of the tools that are available now, and great, you've already mentioned AI. First bit is yes, it's a good idea for you to turn some of those questions into content. But if you do not have a steady funnel that is bringing in those questions, you might have to work with AI to give you a list of questions that could possibly be in your potential client's head. So people don't have to know that it's not a client that asked you that. And you can position it as though these are some of the questions that you have received before, and you are creating content out of that. But a lot of it has to come from you thinking from the lens of somebody who would be your potential customer or client, and build content around that so that they follow your page, and some of those whether videos or written carousels or posts are answering some of the initial questions that they can have. Um, for example, with my business, let me say with scented candles, for example. Someone who may not necessarily be very used to using candles might begin to think, oh, where do I position a candle? How long should I burn a candle? Some of those kind of questions. So peeping into the mind of a potential customer to say, okay, burn candles in this particular place, keep them on a stable surface, don't burn for more than 4 hours. This is how you trim your wick, this how that, this how that. I'm making that into content as FAQs. And it doesn't necessarily have to be videos because I'm not even someone who is I'm quite introverted, like with my life. So I'm not necessarily someone who is drawn to making videos all the time. In fact, I sometimes struggle with it because it's like, I don't want to overshare. So it can be written content as well, because the whole idea is that you are building a valuable brand that is findable. So videos are great also because they will help with your reach, reels, and all that. But written content is also really good. And if that is something that you excel in, you can do that. And you already mentioned about voicing the content. So that's something that you can have like voiceovers, and the video doesn't necessarily have to even show you. I've been really liking some of the types of like B-roll content I see with some type of creators where there's not even necessarily a face to the video, but it's like everyday activity sort of thing. So there's like a small B-roll in the background and you have your text of what you want to share over it. It helps you to do both things. You can share the valuable thing you want to share, but you also have a video that can reach new audiences which you may not ideally have reached. But that blend of educational content and then some bits of funny content is necessary. With my business, we're testing out some things about like the kind of chats that we receive. What we did was that we've received this kind of questions before, but we did not use the exact chats. I actually went on ChatGPT and gave it some of the kinds of ridiculous things people have said to my sales reps in the DMs and asked it to create a photo and image to look like an actual DM interaction. And it did that. And I posted it, and the comments were something like, if this is how your social media managers are responding, that was sort of something to like trigger people to come say something, you know? And that's something that you can also do. If, for example, maybe you have clients who are telling you, deliver the work, we'll pay you after the work has been delivered. These are all things you can create content around. It's something that can trigger people to say something. You can also create funny content out of it because it can be like, how exactly are you expecting me to deliver work when you haven't paid for this project yet? So it's a blend, but you have to do it according to your individuality. You cannot be creating content just based off what people are expecting you to create, or simply because videos are the best. People say videos are the best kind of content. Funny enough, Instagram is saying now that they are, which is crazy because social media is such a ridiculous place. It keeps changing. Now they're saying that they are pushing carousels and content with texts a lot because people have bought into the Reels thing so much that everybody's, even something that should not be a video is now a video. Then people are now making it
Yeah.
like continuous loops and things like that. So don't be so fixated on what the algorithm is looking for and miss out on giving value in your content to the people that matter to you as a brand or as a person. So you focus on giving your value, have that blend of maybe bits of funny content, some content that can trigger people to say something, but also have your educational content on there. And the good thing is that you can always repurpose content. Something that you have posted as text or carousel before, you can voice it later. It doesn't have to have your face. It can be a reel with just a voiceover. I do voiceovers for the content that they create at the store a lot. I'm not even there. They create the content. Sometimes I'm like, okay, this is a nice video. I pick it, I mute whatever music that they had in the background, and I do a voiceover over that, and then use that content. So you can always repurpose your content, and content that you shared before, you can always share again. You can change the wordings, you can change the formats, you can change how it appears, things like that. So those are just some of the angles that I think you might be able to add to yours.
Amazing, amazing. I think even you saying that kind of even answered like a question that I would have actually asked, because I mean I'm trying to build a fashion business and I know for a fact that it requires, it is what people see. I don't know if you hear how much. So and one thing I was not telling myself, so you mean I didn't get ready with me. And that's not me. Like I don't. I'm not like. Nah, I'm not about that life. So I was now thinking, okay, what can I do? So one thing I realized I could do, and I'm leaning towards. So I've started posting on TikTok. So it's almost like I'm trying to take my TikTok my TikTok audience like on a journey. Do you get what I'm actually
Yeah.
saying? So more like
Yeah.
sharing story. But I think that has worked incredibly well on TikTok. So, and I think one can also lean towards platforms. What are the
Mm,
platforms? So for TikTok, I think I want to do more of relatability than
mm,
thought leadership. Do you
yeah.
get what I'm actually saying?
Yes.
Like, so
Because TikTok,
when
they're not
people go,
looking
they feel like,
for intellectuals.
yeah, exactly. You're not looking for lectures, and
Nope.
even if you're going to lecture, there's a way. There's also a style they go about. So I think you need to study these platforms. LinkedIn, you cannot post entertainment, cannot post certain words, cannot use certain words because it will be so off-putting. And
Mm,
meanwhile, it might not be off-putting on other platform, but LinkedIn it will be. So you need to understand the way. I think it's strategy. You need to understand. Okay, this particular platform. What are the kind of contents? Videos don't perform well on LinkedIn because it's
yes.
not built for.
It's just
It's
not for
not.
it.
They don't
Yep.
push it. Don't push it. It's only possibly your audience that would but they don't push LinkedIn don't push it. But
Yeah.
your content writing, like when you write, or be rest assured that it will be pushed and people get to see it. Instagram,
Mm,
obviously, they're leaning towards like views because that's because of they want the revenue. They were jealous of TikTok. That was the goal. But now they're seeing that people are now clamoring for bring back the old Instagram. That's why we are seeing. If I was very surprised, the carousel I made with test actually did
mhm,
incredibly well, which was very surprising because me, I'm just
mhm.
sharing like that's why I spoke about people using DOMs, like put pictures together and just talk.
Yeah.
You realize that it's an impact because people would spend so much time on that post because it's long. I don't know if you get what I'm actually saying. Like, so
Mhm.
imagine posting 20 pictures on one post and then you now start adding text to it. That they will and it's interesting. So they will spend so much time and that's helped your algorithm.
Mhm.
Something that I realized and I'm just like, wow. So I never knew. So I think it's just really understanding what each platforms, what they like,
Yeah.
and it's a way just do it. But it should not take away your uniqueness. Should not be out of this
Mm,
is so I don't know if you're matching to like you like your kind of person should show. If you are not a very video person, don't force
mhm,
it. If not,
mhm.
it just come off as non natural, and people can always tell. So
Yeah.
just do you, just be yourself. Look for the best form of content that you know. Oh, I love this. I can work with this, and just freestyle. And I think also one thing is also like vulnerability too. Like let people know. So take for instance, vlog. I'm not a good vlogger. So even on my TikTok, I let them know, you guys know, I'm just trying. I posted like a recap of a friend's wedding. And I was
Mm,
like, I don't know what to say here. I said it on the this thing, on the vlog. I don't know what to say or okay, but I think I was enjoying myself. It's like people are like, okay, this guy is a real person. It's not all
mhm,
perfect. So if your LinkedIn is very curated and they go on TikTok, you can say, oh, okay, I can relate with this guy. So
mm,
you want to be sure that once people find you and they go through platforms, they can see different sides of you that just I don't know if you get what I'm actually saying. That doesn't make
mm.
so much sense. So yeah, I
Yeah.
really think that's such a great advice, really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Someone said the Indamula they do get ready with me. It's very chaotic actually. I don't know.
Mm.
Like all those radio people, all those fashion influencers, the way they do it. I'll now be in my room. I'll not say, okay, please get ready with me. I'll now go and change. That would not be me, please. So I think yes, Laura has a question. She said, how do you create a balance between building genuine LD connections and networking? No, interesting. I think it's similar to what Blessing asked. Yeah,
Very similar, and it's almost the same thing I'm going to say. You need to
yeah.
switch from that mindset of I'm going for this event just because I want to network. Some people can actually see through and see that this person is just here to grab people to help them move up the social ladder or whatever it is. There are some people who are just doing that so that they can grab a video, a picture, and say, I went for this event and I spoke to this person, and just use it for their own betterment, which is not always a bad thing, but you are better off building a proper rapport and relationship with this person, and that can then open up networking opportunities for you. So see this person as a human first. Who is this person and how can I connect with them before it gets down to the point of what can they offer me and what can I get from them. So if you're going just straight up with the idea of, oh, this person has access to this and that and that, and that's what I'm going for, you may not. And if this person is intuitive as well, they would already sense that that's what you're coming for and they will block that access, right? So you connect with them personally first. And you need to have taken an interest in them for you to connect with them, which is why I say one of the greatest ways to approach that is you can go ahead at the events to introduce yourself and share or tell them about what you like about the work that they do or what they've shared. And then go actually follow them and see what they're about. When you've learned who they are, what they do, the kind of things, it's easier for you to now be able to build a rapport and then have a genuine, healthy connection. And when that person now knows you as a person and knows about what you do, that can then open up the door to networking opportunities, because nobody who just randomly just met you at an event and then now knows what you're doing will now go recommend you because, okay, they've heard what you do, but do they know you as a person? What values do you embody? Are you credible? Can they actually put their name behind you if they're going to refer you or recommend you to somebody? Because if they do that and then you go there and you mess up, it is their name that's going to be at stake. So they first have to know you person. Is this person credible? Is this person honest? Does this person have integrity? And then they can be comfortable enough to open up access to some of the networking opportunities that they have that can be of benefit to you. They can be more comfortable with opening that up to you. So first go with the plan of getting to know this person as a human being and sharing about yourself as a human being, and let it grow organically, if we can call it that, but have a genuine interest in the person, not just in what you think this networking opportunity can do for you. Right. So that's just the only thing I'll add to what I had answered to Blessing.
Amazing, amazing. Yes, people buy into people. Augustus said people buy into people. And that's very, very profound. Like people buy into people really. So I think what now makes it even more beautiful is when you already have your social media platforms like properly positioned to reflect the value that you offer. So
Mm-hmm.
if you be connected with somebody like in a physical, like in an event, and
Mm-hmm.
then they go ahead to check you out, they're like, wow, oh, he's doing stuff, she's doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that even like makes them like okay, kind of excited to actually engage with you. I think I've seen that happen play out. So people
Mm-hmm.
they see you, but if let's take for instance, I mean some days you have like bad days where you are not properly maybe dressed and all of that and everything, and you're not giving rich. I mean, I've seen that happen. And then
Mm-hmm.
you now possibly share your maybe your LinkedIn account or something, and then they go ahead and say, hey, big person, oh. I'm serious. I've seen this. You're doing well, oh. This, that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you actually think they are doing really well. But because of yeah, I've seen that. I've seen something like that. Like, I see that. I know that person is doing, but because of how I've positioned myself, they know, this guy is doing well. So I think that positioning is very important. Create your positioning. You go to nice places, take the picture. Let it look like as if it's a place you visit on a regular. Like it's not faking. I think people
Mm-hmm.
people cannot. It's positioning. You're not faking it because you actually went there now, Abi. So why not? If you went to a nice restaurant, if it's bottled water you drank there, take nice picture there. Like take nice picture, post it that way
Yeah.
because people they buy it. People they want to feel like, oh, this kind of I like this, I like this. See, because you just have to, and that is what attracts. I mean, I see somebody's post and somebody's page, and I just love them. Or even on LinkedIn, I could see someone's post and I'm like, let me see this person. Oh, this person is doing really amazing. Nice profile, nice this people need to feed their eyes too. So you have to be very intentional. Even your video, I know we say your background does not matter. It matters, oh. Like
It
all of
matters.
those stuff, it does matter. Like everything, how you intentionally create, like everything does matter because it brings about a perception. And one thing I've also come to realize is you would never get to meet some people if they don't see, or you will never get to even touch some money, really, if they don't see you as somebody who can manage that money or who has already touched that money.
I have a
So
story
I think that's
concerning.
the thing too. I know you must have. Yeah. So it's a real, it's also like a real life experience. So the way I position myself is so, like someone who is like, you know, and really, so that's the kind of people you would also attract. And that's just how it works. Yes, I think you can speak to the experience you have, and let's learn from it. You'd want to share.
So it was a private label client, if I'm not mistaken. I don't post a lot about
Mm.
my personal life or my private life on Instagram. So only my
Yeah.
friends know what I'm about or what I do or whatever or where I am.
Mm.
And there was this private label client who, had reached out, blah, blah, blah. I was just talking anyhow to my assistant at the time who was taking this initial conversation. And then kept insisting, okay, I want to speak to your boss, this, that, 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 that. In fact, I want to come physically to the store, blah, 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 everything. Okay, cool. And then I went through the chat. I'm like, this person is quite condescending. What's this about? Right. And I was just like, okay, no problem. Let's go ahead to have this consultation. I figured that this person is going to be humbled by the time they show up physically. Unfortunately for them, on the day when we were now meeting up, I think at the time they were just getting into the store. I was driving in and I could see the shock because it was not like, okay, I've been thinking a small picking, you know. And then all of a sudden it now became a situation of, hello, ma. How are you, ma? Oh, great to meet you, ma. I really admire your work, ma. I'm like,
Ah.
where did this come from? And then you're not looking at the person you're meeting here and the personality that they have projected on social media. I'm like, on a normal day, but for not for private label, you will not really be talking to me on a one-on-one. You understand? But
Mm.
yeah, people will judge you based on what they think or
Yes,
where
they
they
will.
might think
Yeah.
you are. So even with
Yes.
money, and funny enough, that person was not even making that inquiry for themselves. It was for their boss. So now they're like, oh, okay, it's not
Imagine.
so clearly whatever level of private label we wanted to do, we can clearly trust these people with the money because this is not a child that we're speaking to or whatever. But then that's what that does to people's minds because people see you at a particular level and just think, if we give this person this 10 million naira privately, but will they not run away with our money? Have they even held 5 million naira before? And sometimes it's just a perception problem. It's not even necessarily because you know them,
Yeah.
it's because of how you have presented yourself to them, right?
Mm.
So, yes, that background that you're talking about is important in those your videos.
See.
If you need to just create one small wall in your house that is your background,
Yeah.
do it. Only
You
that
have
nice
to.
wall
Ah.
painted with small decor behind and a nice picture, whatever. If you need to do that, do it. You don't need to renovate your whole house, but you see that you must create that perception well for people to
Yes. Yeah.
that
Very
this is
true.
what
Very,
it's
very
about.
true.
Very
I think
interesting.
that's very profound.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes. Yes. In fact, how I got to know that this is very, very real was when a particular client reached out to me on LinkedIn, and then he was talking about how he has been duped before, all of that. But the only reassurance that he knows is that this guy cannot dupe me. Ah, man, like I was like, so when we went on to like finalize the stuff, and I went on to ask me, I felt like you had like a past odds, like you've been duped. He said yes.
Mm.
I was like, I asked him, why do you think I cannot dupe you? He said, see you on LinkedIn now. And he said you have a name, you have a reputation. So there's no way you can actually dupe
Yeah.
me, because if you do, your reputation is ruined. So people want to do business with people who even have reputation, something to lose.
Yeah.
And something I've learned.
If
So I don't even do business with, yeah.
when people
Yeah,
just start, they just be like, you know what, this is our founder, go and look out. So go and check our LinkedIn
exactly.
or Instagram. Somebody, oh,
Exactly.
okay, I didn't know what
Exactly.
about this. So it's very important.
Exactly. Exactly. So people want to do business with somebody who have something to lose. So if you don't have anything to lose, if you come across like someone who does not have anything to lose, they don't want to do business with you. And maybe that's why you're not getting the certain opportunities you should get, because the people who have the money, that they want to do business with somebody, because obviously if you don't have anything to lose, you can run away. That's what they believe. So you have to intentionally curate your social media platforms, how you look, how you present. Don't post that are drinking Gary. Nobody cares. Drink your Gary. Don't come and post it on social media. Like, yeah, I tell people the good food, that's what you should post. The days that you cook really amazing food, yes,
Post.
that's what you should post. We don't want to see you drink Gary. Keep the Gary to yourself. We don't even see you eating beans. Those are people that like this. Keep it. I'm saying, people will say, "Oh, you are not authentic." No, you actually are. But one thing is, you want that when people, the first perception people have of you, you want to be sure that it is the right one, and
Yeah.
not the one that maybe circumstance or anything else. So you have to intentionally create it. So when they experience it, they're like, "Oh, I like this person. Oh, I." That does not mean that you should not also show yourself. So I think there's like a middle ground in this. Like there are times, absolutely. I mean, there's a time when I posted about, like, I think, hey, you saw it, that where I said our business wants to injure me. Yes, I posted. That was like a vulnerable moment, and I got a lot of people actually saying, "No, so sorry. This, that." I see. Even if I don't actually, business it's not like you want to injure me like that, because every day said business wants to injure somebody. But the way I'm saying, so yes, we need to wrap up. So yes, honestly, that's just how it is, and I honestly, this has been so packed. So what I need everybody to, this already is even content already. Like this session is content. So what have you learned? What have you learned from Dr. K? Go and put it together on LinkedIn, like on LinkedIn, on your Insta story. Like share, let people know that you're also passionate about growth. And yeah, it's content. I'm serious. And you don't know who would see it and say, "Oh, I like that. Okay, okay. What I want to be a part of this." Like literally, that's just how it works. So thank you so much, Kay. This has been deeply, deeply packed. I've learned so much. I'll still go back and listen to this. And yes. And so would you be open to persons reaching out to you? They have questions. Can we share your contact with members, like the participants? So
Share
yes,
my
yes.
Instagram.
Your
Share my Instagram.
Instagram, Abby.
It's easier for you to
Okay,
reach me
okay,
on
yes.
Instagram than on WhatsApp. So please share my Instagram. My
Actually,
WhatsApp.
very true. Very, very, very true.
Share my
But
Instagram. I will reply to my
yes,
Instagram
yes.
faster than my WhatsApp.
Okay, okay, yes, absolutely. So we'll do that. Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you,
Thank
really.
you,
And we
everyone.
love
It's
you so
lovely.
much. Yes, the class is a lifelong nugget to keep implementing the good, genuinely speaking. So we all need to go back and watch this. So thank you so much, Kay. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. I hope you were able to take really valuable nuggets, and I hope you're able to implement. I think execution is just very important. There should be urgency. Go implement everything you've learned today. So thank you, and bye, and see you in our next session. God bless you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much, Kay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Daniel. Bye, Augustine. Bye, Ibuku. Bye, Laura. Bye, Melody.